Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we are going to have a very interesting show tonight. Man, there's so many things going on right now that are just like crazy, like absolutely absurd. And I can't wait to review it with all of y'all. First off, I just want to thank every single one of you for coming in. We literally just started the stream. We already got about 35 people in here, and it's going to be a packed house. So have a seat, get comfortable, go ahead and grab some popcorn, squirt some of that fake butter on it, and shout out to the tactical turkeys that we actually just talked about. Fake popcorn and fake butter and aluminum in our deodorant and water and lithium in the water and all the anyway, we can talk about that later, but that also has a lot to do with what we're what we're discussing. Um, Man, the wool has been pulled over our eyes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Like I said, thank you all so much for coming in and taking the time to hang out. It's a big deal for you guys to come in and give sometimes an hour, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours of your time. By the way, you all will see a podcast that will be being published here shortly with your boy. I actually went on Black Diamond Guns and Gear, Fat Tack. Y'all know Josh. We love Josh. Um, he had me on his show. He wanted to interview me about me and the channel and the companies and all that stuff, which I thought was really dope. So we did. I don't even know how long we did. We went for a minute, and then after like an hour and a half, we were like, let's do part two another day. So that'll be cool to see that come out. I mean, I won't watch it because I was there, but I mean, y'all could watch it. It'll be good. And yeah, so for anyone that's here the first time, shout out to Mud Munitions, bro. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Goonbeam, brother, I see you as well. Everyone else that's in here, thank you so much. For anyone that's here for the first time, usually what we do is we take the next 10 minutes or so to literally greet all of our channel members and everyone else that's in here hanging out because I truly do genuinely value all your time. And did you know my average watch time? I hear so often people like bragging, like, I have a 7 minute average watch time. I have a 10-minute average watch time, which honestly with YouTube is great, right? If you can retain the audience for 7 minutes or 10 minutes on average, that's incredible. My current average watch time is like 58 and a half minutes, which is absolutely nuts. The fact that I have less than 5,000 subscribers and I carry 50, 60, 80 people in here for hours is incredible. So I give it up to y'all. I give it up to God, right? But the viewers, man, I love y'all. I appreciate you guys so much, man. It means a lot. So thank you. So for the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to be greeting all of our channel members because this channel is 100% funded by the viewers. That well, 99.98. I'm trying to keep it real with y'all. Funded by the viewers, and you guys are the folks that allow this to keep going. I also got some stuff coming up, man. Okay, so the Anderson Frontline 11.5-inch AR will be in tomorrow, and I'll be doing paperwork on that. And also, I know this is crazy, right? And the Anderson, there's a lot behind the Anderson and how they really did a great job like pumping up the so they basically like redesigned how they did the gas block and the gas tube and the BCG, and this is their law enforcement version that at least two agencies are currently using as their duty rifle in Kentucky. And because of the success they had with that line, they said, okay, well, let's do a line like this for civilians. And we're talking 600 to 800 bucks for an AR, and it is a duty rifle. So it's not a super duty rifle, you know what I'm saying? But it's a duty rifle for like a quarter of the price. So there is that. Well, let's see, like 8 times 3. So I mean, it's a lot less than something like a Super Duty or the Dark 18 CQBR or the temp, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying, or the Frag Out, right? You know what I'm saying? Or the single shot grenade launcher, that SSGL. Actually, okay, you caught me. It's a 37 millimeter spikes. All right. But anyway, Seriously, genuinely, thank you all so much for being here. We're going to go through and welcome everybody because that's how we do things. First, we do the channel members because you guys are the folks that are literally carrying this whole channel. And then also, we do our honorable mentions and we give a shout out to as many people as I can see in the chat without being too ridiculous and going too far back. So I try to get everyone, though, because it is important to me that you guys are spending that time here. And also, if you're watching this the next day, or the next day, or the next day, then I'd like to say thank you for your time as well. And also, do me a favor as you're watching this. I would like you to type a little something like Replay Mafia. Shout out to my guy Razor, JB. Maybe Recapitulation Syndication. Shout out to Spin 360. And all the creative things that you guys come up with. You guys are incredible. I love it. So drop something in the comments when you're watching this the next day or the next day. Most people like Knights Custom Builds is always, literally every day after I do a stream, he's like watching this with coffee, boom, all the time, man. And so many others too. I don't mean to just say him. And a lot of you guys that are here for like the whole night, but like maybe fall asleep, you come back the next day and finish it. Like I cannot express to y'all how grateful I am for that. Thank you so much. So we're gonna have a great conversation tonight. The FBI is at your door. You are now in MVE. We're going to have a conversation about those leaked documents, and we're also going to have a conversation about something that you probably didn't think about having a conversation on DLD After Dark, which is grocery stores. I know. It's crazy, but it'll make sense in a little bit. Man, there's so many crazy things going on, but anyway, we'll touch on it. And I have someone special coming on here. Literally, right when I said that, homeboy just popped backstage. This is beautiful. So hang tight while I greet everybody, and then I'll bring you on in a minute. I really appreciate what you did in the movie Rambo. It was incredible. It was great. I really thought you did a great job. First Blood was great. But anyway, Sylvester, hang tight, and I'll put you on in a few minutes. Um, that's silly and stupid. I know. Anyway, I'm a dad. I do dad jokes. Okay. So let's go through and say what's up to everybody. Let's greet the first person that was in here tonight, which is your boy, Chips Ahoy, Toy Town Inc. What's up, brother? Congrats on being first. You're owed at least one crisp high five. So congrats. We'll do a fist bump too. Fist bump. Actually, sorry, right hand. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. And let's go through and say what's up to all the channel members. We got Blue Curtain Burner in the building. What's up, brother? Great to see you, channel member. We got Kurt 24, low key, the producer of the show. Don't let nobody know. Kurt 24, appreciate you, my guy. Not only is he a channel member, but he also is a moderator, and he is cranking out the links back there through the whole show. You're going to see him dropping links, and it's crazy how he does it. I'll be like, guys, you know what? I really want to take a moment to shine a light on this goon beam right here, right? The goon beam that's shining on that 40 millimeter green Geisley Super Duty. I know. And then, like, as I'm talking about it, he'll drop the link and the code to save y'all money. Like, that's what he does. Sometimes I may be like, you know what? We're launching a knife company. It's called Definition Knives. And if you want to cop a knife like this, that for an example, is named the Birdshot. And this one is paying homage to the tactical turkeys. If you go to Instagram and go to Definition Knives, you'll find that Instagram there. Or if you're looking to pick up the dark one, which is the DK one, I didn't name it, y'all. Y'all named it. This is D2 tool steel. It's got the blue hardware. It's super fire. This thing is beautiful. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Also, we got the co-pilot to pay homage to Flying Rich. We got the carbon fiber scales with the blue hardware, and it's cool. It's like so deeply blue at some points. It's purple, which is fire. This is also D2 tool steel. These are all really, they have some variation in sizes, but they're all drop point style blades, and they have a roller lock, these 5 that we're launching. But this one has a little bayonet relief cut on the back, so it's super cool. The action is great, and love the locking mechanism on there. And this one is called the Journalist, in honor of your boy John Crump. This thing is fire. This is Black G10, 8CR13 MOV steel. These are all logoed, unlasered, so don't make your judgments off of that. These ones are a little bit bigger. The blade length is just a hair longer, but it's a very like utilitarian style knife, right? This is a knife that is meant to be used for utility type ish, but also if you ever needed to use it for another purpose and law enforcement takes it from you, guess what? Definition Knives will send you another one for free. So there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that we're doing. If law enforcement ever takes your knife and you weren't like doing felonious stuff with it, we'll get you another one. We're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff, so keep an eye out. But as I say that, I'm sure I'm not watching the chat right now, but I'm sure Kurt is like, boom, Definition Knives. Obviously, Definition Knives on Instagram is there. We only have one post, but the website Definition Knives will be, we already own it, but it will be up and active soon enough. The knives will be in the 15th of September, provided that all these knives are made in the great state of China, and provided that they do their job, we'll be good. Anyway, Zanti Misfit, what's up, brother? Also a Chinamemba, appreciate you, my guy. We got Kurt 24, Zanti Misfit, bro. Johnny Propane, yo, what's up, man? Good to see you. Also a Chinamemba, appreciate you. Cali Preppa, Chinamemba, great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out as well. Let's see who else we got. We got Kurt 24. We got Eric Stockbridge. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. Also somebody who bought one of the Definition Knives shirts, which actually seemed like there was a couple variances between all of them. The one that I got, the one that Flying Rich got, the one that Kurt got, and the one that you got are all kind of different. So I may need to reevaluate that file. It's just strange. Quick shout out to a little honorable mention to Mud and Munitions. Appreciate you. He came in and I've seen him a lot in the Tactical Turkeys. And tonight he came in and he was like, "Hey, it's my first time on here. It's long overdue. So make sure to show him some love, welcome him, and give him a glowy platoon welcome." Um, let's see, Eric Stockbridge, my guy, Chinamemba, Cali Preppa, Zanti Misfit. Great to see all you guys. Let's see who else we got up in here. Hey, and look at this, Kurt dropping them, man, bro. You're the man, man. You are the man. Thank you. Let's see, Kurt 24. I'm just catching up here. Give me one sec. Flying Rich, brother, great to see you. Talked to you like 13 times today. Actually, probably only like 4 or 5 times today, which it's a little light, but I think we'll be okay. Great to see you. Not only is he a channel member, but he is also a moderator. Appreciate you, my guy. Rose, big boss. Great to see you, my guy. Not only is he a channel member, but he also you can catch him every single Friday in the 2A EDU chats as well. Great to see you, bro. We got Aggie in the building. What's up, Agorizer? Great to see you, my guy. Appreciate you coming and hanging out, man. All these channel members, you guys are incredible, man. Love y'all so much, man. The support is awesome. Love it. Fluffy, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, also a channel member. We appreciate you. Blue Curtain Burner. We said what's up to Blue Curtain Burner. I'm just getting caught up here. Zanti, Agorizer, Fluffy Bunny. Let's see, Agorizer's Fluffy Bunny. Agorizer's Fluffy Bunny. All right, Johnny Ba. What's up, Johnny Ba? Also a channel member. Great to see you, my guy. Moose47, also a channel member. Great to see you. Appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out as well. Agorizer, Fluffy Bunny. Hey, there he is. ADXR 920. Brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. And a lot of these dudes have been channel members for like ever, like for years. So I appreciate y'all. Here he is. I know he really wants me to show that high point PDW with a 3D printed frame, but I can't. It's YouTube. My guy, Mark Tucka, Mopka, great to see you. Great to see you. Agorizer, Zanti, let's see, Zanti, Johnny Ba. Let's see, Kurt 24, Flying Rich Firearms, his other channel that actually has like 16,000 subscribers. So shout out to you, Flying Rich. You're the man, man. Also a moderator as well, Agorizer, Fluffy Bunny. Hey, there he is. Murphy's Law. What's poppin', brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you, my guy. ADXR 920, Agorizer, Kurt 24, ADXR, Zanti Misfit. Great to see y'all. Hey, Carbon Q. Great to see you. She's also a moderator. And man, when it comes to links, I don't think there are any other faster hands in the West than Kurt and Carbon Q. Maybe Mike McClune, the goon. He's quick. He's quick on the trigger too. I'm just saying. Agorizer, Flying Rich, Eric Stockbridge, Murphy's Law. Let's see, ADXR 920, Kurt 24, Murphy's Law. There he is. T for Tejas, Mr. First Customer himself. Great to see you. He was actually, so T for Tejas was the first customer ever of DLD hardware. And he hit me up and he was like, yo, all right, so I know you're launching the knife company, right? And you're showing off some like dope stuff, right? So I want to make sure that I'm the first customer of Definition Knives as well. And I just thought that was so cool, man. You guys are incredible. And Definition Knives would not have the logo that we have if it wasn't for your boy Frag Out Design Studios, your boy Frag Out Firearms. My guy, you are incredible. We appreciate you. We love you. And actually, that right there, you can't really see it too well in this light. Let's see. Let's see. That's the Frag Out Firearms upper and lower. It's an Anderson upper and lower with a Noveski 10.5 inch. I guess they call it's like it's a machine gun barrel. It's a super thick barrel. It's got the enhanced gas tube, gas block, and all that stuff. Anyway, bunch of stuff. It's a great gun. Really cool. Let's see. Murphy's Law, Mark Tucker, Mobka, T for Tejas, Kurt 24, Flying Rich, bro. Murphy's Law. Oh, Zanti Misfit. Let's see who else we got here. Sometimes I feel like an auctioneer. I know I'm not that fast. Like, we got a Flying Rich up in here. We got a Mark Tucker up in here. We got Eric Stockbridge saying, what's up, man? Da, 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 you know, like that kind of thing. Let's see. Kurt 24, Zanti Misfit. A live life. What happened to Okeechobee? Broby? Brody? Bro v. Wade? Uh, Bro v. Wade. I don't even know where that came from. Live life. Great to see you, my guy. Great to see you. Let's see. Murphy's Law. Lightning McQueen, my guy. Great to see you. Another channel member. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Let's see. Zanti, Lightning McQueen, Murphy's Law, my dog, T for Tejas, Flying Rich with the $2 hair super chat. Finishing is important. This is true. I feel like that's something that like Steve from Blues Clues would say or something like that, or like Mr. Rogers or something. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, guys, finishing is important. You know, something like that. Thank you for the $2 super chat to discuss how frequently you finish. Do you finish inside? Do you finish outside? I know it's been raining out there, so you probably finish your tasks inside. Do you finish on her belly? I'm just kidding. Sorry. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Let me stop. I know. He's shaking his head. Sylvester Stallone is back here shaking his head. I know. Slim223. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a Chenamemba. Let's see. Lightning McQueen, Zanti Misfit, Murphy's Law, my dog. Let's see. Zanti Misfit, Murphy's Law, Johnny Ba. See who else we got. Gort, my guy, great to see you. Also a channel member. You can also catch him in the 2A EDU live streams every Friday evening as well. And of course, we got your boy, Mike McClune, the goon. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Not only is he also lightning fast on those links, but your boy is also a mod and he's a channel member. Appreciate you. We got Johnny Bob. We said what's up to Johnny Bob. We got Barton Fink in the building. What's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a channel member. Pretty sure he's been a channel member for like 12 years, something like that. He says the bird shot will not cause lead poisoning, of course, because it's steel shot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all use steel shot or do you use lead shot or do you just use wax from crayons, glue guns, and kind of glue it together just to make a devastating piece of 12 gauge technology? Let's see who else we got here. We got Gord, Murphy's Law, Barton Fink. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody. Mark Tucker, Mopka. Let me see. Murph Dog. Belligerent Instigator. Nice. I like that. That looks so suspect, but I actually like it a lot. The founding fathers did not cower. Who gives a what the FBI says? Nothing has changed. They are tyrants. Fucking duh. We're here to troll them and make fun of them. What are you talking about? You think oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Guys, he thinks we care what they say, right? That's the I get what it is. Okay, my apologies. I'm sorry if we confused you. But welcome. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out as well. Let's see, Johnny Propane. We said what's up to you, Johnny Ba. Let's see, Barton Fink, Santi Misfit, Murph Dog. Who else? Who else? Who else? I just want to make sure. There he is, Rudy Finney, my guy. Great to see you. Also a Chenamimba. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Man, I was so far behind in chat, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy. DLD After Dark, be careful. Another stream was cut while showing a picture of a revolver. Yeah, I believe it. We've been cut for showing a CAD drawing of a frame. It's nuts. If they're gonna cut you, they're gonna cut you, you know. So we'll see what we're gonna do. We'll be good though. Murph, Rudy Finney, great to see you, my guy. Appreciate you. 717 Rider, what's up, brother? Great to see you. Also a gentleman. Let's see. I want to make sure we're not missing anyone here, and then we'll come back around and we'll get started. Live life. I was working at US. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Sweet. No, that's whack. Sorry. Okay. Um okay, Drew, what it do? Lifetime Chenamemba. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Dang, we even got the range minded podcast in here. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. Drew, live life, and I think we're coming to a screeching halt. Not my name, brother. Great to see you. Also a Chenamemba. And Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, Mike McLuhan the Goon, Johnny Ba, Murphy's Law. All right, we also got Fat Gray Man. What's up, brother? Great to see you. We got Adam Baum in the building, TMC, because there's always way too many choices. What do? Carry a Glock or carry a Glock? You know, so many choices. I know. We got Robert Ribbit. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Herbert, turning the frogs. Yeah, you know. Damien, my brother in Christ. What's up, fam? Good to see you. G23. What's poppin' player? We got Prepper Book Club in the building as well. What's up, fam? Rip Curl Readiness. DB. Mr. Monica himself. Prepper Book Club. Adam Baum. Baptized in Fire. Great to see you. Tuck. What up, Tuck? What up, Tuck? Let's see who else we got. I saw a bunch of other people in here, but I don't want to push this on too long. 26 minutes. Damn. I know it's crazy. We be doing this. JC Neener, what's up, fam? Good to see you. Tech Money, what's popping? Anyone else that I miss? Sound off in the chat. If you don't care, then you know, well, who cares? Lady Smith, great to see you. DLD, does that mean the what? Question. What number is the question mark? No, that's not a number. I thought there. No, I'm tripping. That's the exclamation point. The 10 Fed ossifers in here opinions do not matter. So technically, right now there's 7.3 federal agents in here based on our historic averages. But no, of course not. I mean, there are also like probably like feds in here that are just employed by the federal government that don't actually like hate freedom, independence, and liberty. But you know, I think it's all about the spirit that we review this with, right? If we give this merit, and if we give this, you know, I guess the reaction that they're expecting us to give, um, I think the important thing is that while we review the, and this is just one thing we're reviewing, like y'all know this show runs for like 2 to 3 hours, right? Or like we're not just going to go over this one thing. We actually have a bunch of things we're going to talk about. It's just important that we remember that we review this from the perspective of we don't care about the FBI. They are a literal criminal organization. They are tyrants, and we know exactly what the punishment is for tyrants, the motherfucking gallows. So let's run with it. Let's bring on your boy. You know him. You love him. If you don't love him, you probably like him. If you don't love him and you don't like him, then you probably hate him, which is going to make great for interaction tonight. Your boy, the one and only Red Dawn Readiness. boys. Flam, flam, flam,
Hey
flam.
yo, how you doing over here? It's your boy Red Dawn Readiness. You know, when you're pushed, it's as easy as breathing is killing is as easy as breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, sure, for sure. Mud Munitions, everyone, throw some love at Mud Munitions, man. Welcome him. It's his first night in here. We've been here for 30 minutes, and all I've done is scream at a computer for a half an hour. So give him some love. Give Red
All
Dawn
right.
some love. If you don't subscribe to Red Dawn Readiness, I don't know what you've been doing, but he is the new preparedness channel to subscribe to. So while
Appreciate
we do
that.
this, yeah, man, for sure. Take a quick second. Let them know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Thank you, Kurt24, dropping the link, bro. Appreciate you. It's your boy Red Dawn Readiness. A lot of you guys know me in the chat. If you don't know me, with sleeves,
With sleeves. Look at that. He's and
I
we're
got
kind
a
of
new
matching.
shirt from Costco today,
Yep.
$12.99. This thing is sharp though. It's sharp.
Ayo,
You know what I'm
ayo.
saying? But yeah, I try to focus on preparedness on my channel, and that encompasses everything that I can put together, different guests, different ideas, different thought processes, gear reviews, tools, whatever I can put together for everybody to enjoy, be entertained, and also gain knowledge.
Mhm.
So come check out my channel. Also, because YouTube also hates my guts and
Mhm.
they've demonetized 2 channels of mine, I am creating a 3rd backup channel, which the
Ah,
2nd backup channel I
don't
deleted.
don't do it yet. Did you create it yet?
Not yet.
Okay, let me show you a way, okay?
Yes,
It'll
cool.
be a way that they can't tie them together.
Gotcha.
It's simple, but once, like, we go through it, you'll be like, "Oh, dude, of course," you know, because 'cause they'll
Gotcha.
know it's you, right? It's like e everyone does it. IG does it, that
Yep, yep.
it's, you know, it's
So I
it's
I
a thing.
do have a poll that I just posted on my community tab of 5 names, and I want everyone, when you get time, you don't have to click off the video to hit my community tab, but if you go to my community tab, there's a poll there with 5 names. Pick the best one that you like, and if you like something that's not in those 5, put it in the comments.
You know, I wanna bring this up real quick, and, for real though, much respect to what you do. I love
Bro.
your perspective on things. I love the way you look at things. I love the way that you appreciate freedom, liberty, and independence, and, dislike government overreach. And,
Very much.
yeah, man, for sure. And it's funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's interesting because, you know, when we met, we basically, like, clicked right away, right? And we
Yeah.
have really similar outlooks on things. So I'm curious as to what your thought is on this. So, Range Minded Podcast asked, "Are you a prepper?" And I kinda feel some
If you're
type of
not a
way
if you're not a
about the word
prepper,
prepper.
yeah, now, right? Because it's
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 become
a
totally commercialized. It's
targeted keyword.
also not even that. It's like, so the moment that I started seeing up, and what happened to you today was a perfect example. The moment
Yeah,
I started seeing, like, all this preparedness stuff available in, like, big box stores, and,
yep.
you know, I'm getting emails every day like, you know, "When the lights turn off, you're gonna need eggs,
Oh,
brother."
oh,
You
I'm
know,
hitting
I'm like,
unsubscribe from those now. You
"Bro,
need this one tool, and then I'm giving away this headlamp.
yeah, dude, like, come on." And I get it. Yo, I am a gear junkie. I love gear.
Yeah,
I love
me too.
equipment. I love firearms. We can get into that as a whole thing. And I have more 9 millimeter
Well,
Glocks than most people
it's
have,
some billion-dollar business, man. Preparedness,
for sure.
you know, it's just like anything else. When people see it picking up steam, the the hawks, the
The
vultures, they're gonna jump in and try to make every dollar they
the
can off it.
the
However,
consumeristic, it's
when you're just trying to be prepared and the shit finally does hit the fan, you're not gonna care where you got what you got from. You're really not. You're gonna be like, "Oh, man, I am glad I picked up this extra thing to do that I need."
can you imagine though, and, by the way, Range Minded Podcast, this is not, any shade towards you at all. It's something that all of us say, like, "Oh, are you a prepper? Do you, do you live a life of preparedness?" Be and you can tell when people do
They
prep,
it should
right?
just be like, "Are you a mature adult?" That
Yeah.
should just be the question.
Honestly, the only thing I can think of is, like, are you a liver? Do you live, right? Like, do
Do
you
you know that
enjoy
tomorrow is
eating?
gonna be another day that something
Yeah.
might happen?
Yeah, and again, Range Minded Podcast, there's nothing but I'm just saying it's what the world has done to the word prepper, because the moment you're talking to somebody that does not live a life of preparedness, if you or anyone says anything about prepping, especially the people that know you prep, and you're in mixed company and someone says something about you being a prepper, and someone that isn't a prepper is like, "Oh, you mean like one of the" what do they say?
One
Oh,
of
you mean
those
like one of those
doomsday
doomsday
preppers.
preppers? Yes, yes. Dude, it's so funny. It's so funny, but it's also sad because the moment that it shifts into this world of consumerism and convenience and with this one trick that the preparedness industry doesn't want you to know, buy my food buckets, nuclear war, buy my turkesterone. It's sorry. Um, it's
Prepared
it's
liver. Well,
sad,
you should
unfortunately.
cleanse your liver often, dude. Liver cleanses are very good for you.
Yep.
And that is there's health preparedness, there's survival preparedness, there's
Mhm.
financial preparedness, there's
Yep.
preparedness in every single aspect of your life. So
Absolutely.
if you're not a prepper, yeah, you're not alive because that just means that you plan for the future. You're prepared for days ahead that things may be different. And having an
Yeah, no,
IRA could be considered prepping for your
for
old
sure.
age. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
If you get to
mm,
even enjoy it,
yeah, for sure.
Range Minded Podcast responded, he said, "Yeah, that was in jest. I get it all the time, and I'm not even that deep or deeply into it." Doomsday Prepper, that guy, that had the castle, that dude was interesting. And they
Bro,
always
I
made them
would
look
love
crazy.
that castle.
Oh, dude,
I
the
would love
things I
that.
could do, and like the thing that I dislike is like, okay, so in one sentence, why do you prep?
Just because I've seen so many. So I live in a area where natural disasters take place often. Being without power is very common.
Mhm,
Um, I also distrust the highest powers in this world that they
mhm,
could care less whether I live or I die or I suffer. And so I prepare for my own well being, for my children's well being, for people that I care about, and
yep,
just to survive, man. Like, I want to not survive, but thrive to the best of my abilities and capabilities and financial capabilities.
yep,
Um, and it also brings me a level of comfort. It also is a great hobby that keeps you very conscious of your health, your abilities, whether or not you're capable of doing certain things, whether or not you
yep.
learn new skills and how to fix things yourself and how to build things yourself. And it keeps me motivated on just being the best person that I can possibly be for any situation that may come up. So I'm
That
obviously very passionate about it, and I enjoy it.
that was the best answer and the longest sentence I have ever heard. No, all jokes aside, it was a great answer, and, I feel very similarly about, everything that you had stated, and it's the same thing because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what
For
tonight
real.
literally, as we're sitting here, everything could just turn off, right? And do you enjoy drinking water? Do you
I
enjoy
do.
eating food? Do you
Mhm.
enjoy being safe? Then why would you not prepare for those things, right? So
For
now I
real.
know we were getting into another conversation tonight. We're going to have several conversations tonight, guys. Spoiler, all right? But the thing that bothered me so much, and part of it is what the Doomsday Preppers series did to this world, is when you watch those series, and part of the reason they made, and they probably did it on purpose intentionally to
Oh,
make
yeah.
people that live a life of preparedness,
Stigmatize.
yes, seem crazy. They're
Yes.
always like, "Why do you prepare?" They're like, "I believe a stealth nuclear missile is gonna be launched 3,800 feet into the air, and it's going to cause a Taiwan typhoon. And it's like, I mean, the amount of ridiculous, specific nonsense that they say is
Yeah.
like, dude, why can't you just say
The
like,
aliens are coming from Beta Reticuli on the 4th.
yeah, like, bro, you could just say no one knows what the future holds, so isn't it better to prepare, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you could go through the like, do you have vehicle insurance? Yeah. Do you have life insurance? Do you have a savings account? Yeah. Do you have firearms? Do you have
Right.
ammo? Right? Do you have just basic shit that like just in case shit goes bad?
Do you have 2 gallons of milk in your fridge or just 1?
Yeah. Do you have a flashlight in your kitchen? Do you have a fire extinguisher? By the way, I cannot tell you how long I lived my life without fire extinguishers in my home.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy,
I
and
need
then
to
I went to
upgrade
go
mine.
buy
Mine are
them.
getting kinda old.
So, you can actually get them for free, like, for the rest of your life, you can get them for free.
Hmm.
Public libraries, schools,
Just snatch them. Grab and
sorry,
snatch.
sorry, I'm totally
Snatch
joking.
and grab. I like how the balloon showed up too, like it was like a birthday present.
Oh, did it? I looked away, I didn't
He
even.
did this. I don't have
Oh,
I'm on a
yeah, I
regular.
did. Yeah, I did that, yep,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
there's
like a
the AI.
birthday present coming up.
The AI is just reminding you, "I'm watching you, Dark." So there's that. Lady Smith said, "Baroons."
Maroons.
Um, yeah, so in that series, they made people that live a life of preparedness seem insane, right? When, like, I'm talking, like, 50 years ago and more, it was just life. Right, like, it was only living. Like, would you like to preserve the food that you risk life and limb for a little bit longer?
Yep.
Yeah. Would you like to, salt your meat or dry your meat or age your dry age or whatever? Do you prefer to, you know, just basic stuff, right? Like, it's just crazy that we live in this
Um,
world now of convenience and consumerism
what
that
I was gonna say, one of the things that really changed that is this thing. I've talked about it now. This is like my third time bringing it up, but
this
controlled
thing called Amazon.
obsolescence. Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah,
Amazon's a part of it. But controlled obsolescence, where you have like a time frame of like, okay, I'm just gonna buy this again here in this amount of time. This thing's
yeah.
gonna break in this amount of time. But people were more stable even early on because they didn't have this market of controlled obsolescence where like we have to stack stuff now where it's like 5 is 1 actually instead of 2 is 1 and 1 is none. It's because things just totally fall apart on us. And if you aren't a crafty, handy person and you're not
Mhm.
stacking stuff, man, then shoot. In SHTF with things that fall apart
Yep.
and crap that they offer to us, yep, planned
Planned
obsolescence.
planned
Yeah, that's
obsolescence,
right.
yeah.
Planned
Yep,
obsolescence.
yep.
Ugh.
Quite sure someone peed in the dating pool. Uh, yeah. Okay, gotta go for real, hamsters are pissed. Frag out, bro, thank you. It was
Hipsters are pissed.
my hamster is sleeping over there. I just wanna say it was so, so dope to see Frag Out's guns on display at the GOA Goals event. I mean, it's huge. There was,
Big time.
1,200 people there the first day and more the following days. And to see him at the to see his work at the Anderson manufacturing booths was just awesome. So shout out to you, Frag Out. If you guys don't know, you can actually he hand draws all of his work. You can get his, engraved and Cerakoted Glocks and ARs and all the stuff that he does on his website.
Sick.
Just look up his name there on the search engine of your choice, so I don't, throw out a place where you can get, the things that go booms and bangs on this platform. But check it out because they're literally like basically standard cost. Like he's not charging much at all for the work that he did, which is incredible. So I don't know how you do it, but I love it. So I appreciate you, Frag Out.
I got to get me a Frag Out Designs for sure.
You and me both, man. All right, that's it. I appreciate you guys coming in and tuning in. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. Careful. Feds now consider SHTF as violent ideology. Isn't that
Oh
funny?
no, no acronyms.
Dude, their whole world is acronyms, dude. It's insane how they
But
turn
not you
everything
can't
into
have 4-letter ones. They have to be 3-letter ones.
yes, yes, MVE or whatever.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. And we'll go over that too. It's look, it is it should not be something new. I was going to say something else, but it should not be something new that the FBI, which is a like literal criminal organization, especially with what we're finding out, like these dirtbags are doing, like literally today, Mark Zuckerberg came out and said, "Yes, the FBI told us, hey, buddy, don't run those stories with all the and look." Since like nearly day one, me through John Crump and other people in the circle had direct access to Hunter Biden's laptop. Like I've literally
Mhm.
logged on his hard drive and gone through stuff and then immediately stopped because of how absolutely disgusting it was. Um, I know why they didn't want that out there, but either way, like they're constantly overstepping and encroaching, and we know that they hate us. They want us dead. I say it frequently. That's like become the thing. DLD says your government hates you and wants you dead. There's no. This is just a thing that we have to look at, like really almost through like a comical lens, but please do not ever forget how dangerous this is because we are manipulated. The general public is manipulated by force, by fear of incarceration and death. Okay. They are leveraging your will to live against you. And whatever, we'll get into more of it here in a moment. I just wanted to bring that up. Shout out to the rest of you guys coming in, testing, brother. Great to see you. Dark Bosnia story time. You know what?
Oh, you're still up there?
Man, that would be a great yeah, I'm way far back.
I loved that comment. Good comment, JC9.
Yeah, that's you know what? Maybe at the end of the show we'll do that. We are gonna have Jax of T6 on the show, and he was in Bosnia post Civil War, and holy moly, bro, the stories he has is insane. Big Fish, shout out to you, my guy, and the Tactical Turkeys. Love y'all. Safety Harbor Firearms with the SHTF 50, the only 50 BMG upper that can go directly on an AR lower. Bro,
Ooh.
so fire. And it's cheaper than almost any other 50 BMG on the market. So
Ooh. It's bolt action?
he has yeah, they're bolt action. One is a bolt action single shot, one is a bolt action mag fed,
Ooh.
but it's still a fed
Mm.
because it's mag.
Sounds like the one fed I
Yeah.
like.
I know. Well, belt fed first and then mag fed, you know.
That's true.
But if you got an M24, you okay? If you get an M249 saw, that's belt fed and mag fed, but
Yes.
don't use the mag
Side
feeding.
mags.
Yeah, it's just not reliable. Okay, let's jump into new prepper. Hey, John Crump live. Dang. Yo, member for 34 months, my guy. That's
Dang.
insane.
Charles Barkley.
For real, dude. That's you could literally have had 3 kids and been working on your 4th one in 34 months. Let's see, 9 times
I
3
think I
is
did have 3
27.
in that amount
I
of
think you
time.
did. Don't you have, like, 13 kids as well?
Nah, Bidenomics hit, bro, and we had to pull out.
How did how did this leak get found? So, apparently, there was, this guy with an airplane, named Flying Rich. He dropped a, Chinese spy balloon over the no, I'm kidding. This leak was brought to you by yours truly, John Crump Live. I think people say yours truly when they're talking about themselves. I'm talking about John Crump Live, John Crump News. He is the hold up. He's the journalist.
Sick.
I'm just saying definition knives.
Sharp.
Ooh, doo-doo-ts. All right, let's jump into it. Before we do, I just want to ask, share a little bit about your perspective, just kind of who you are and like the lens you're looking at this through. What's your outlook on like
Cool.
the state of things today, right? You know, your beliefs and just some basic stuff before we jump into it.
Well, the chair is against the wall, and
Hmm.
I think it is really close time before things do fall apart. I sit around sometimes and try to imagine a world where everything that we're going to talk about tonight on this list is actually praised by the government, that they
Hmm.
praise their American loving, constitutional loving, uh, every bit of American history, the good, bad, the ugly, and they actually loved those kind of people who wanted to be
Yep.
self-reliant and not need the government.
Who want to
Um,
protect the
yeah,
natural rights of the citizenry, who want to
correct.
make sure that the federal government is doing their job of their only job, making sure that the
Yes.
natural rights of the citizenry are not encroached on by the federal government or the government of the states. Sorry.
Yes, 100%. Yep. Baptized in fire, you're right. John has a long mustache. And oh, I
Very
feel
long.
like we're in the fourth quarter and we're down a few touchdowns and it's like everything that you're missing right now, every P and Q, every dot your I type thing needs to be done from our perspective in our personal lives. Every relationship, every bridge needs to be built. Um, taking care of your body, getting in shape, stacking everything you can, training with every
Yep.
freaking thing you have. Don't leave it sitting in a box until the day that you need it, type stuff. And
Eh,
my perspective on this is frustration and disgust that they would even talk about us this way.
mhm.
Quite furious and angry that like I said, those type of people that love our country probably the most and that love everyone in it, no matter who they are, as long as they love it too.
Yeah. Or
Um,
even what their beliefs are. Even the
yeah,
people that vehemently disagree with us, people of opposing views,
for
just
sure.
because we disagree with them doesn't mean that we hate them, right? And
Correct.
I feel like that's a difference between people that think like we do and people that think like they do. We dislike the government and the government overreaching. They dislike and hate us.
Correct.
Totally different perspectives.
And you see that in reflection of the whole voting thing. Like I've talked to people who just you ask them who they're voting for and they don't say Kamala Harris, they'll say anybody but Donald Trump. And it's like,
Mhm.
really anybody? So like um Stalin could be running against Donald Trump and you're voting for Stalin? Like that
Dude,
that's
y you
literally
know
their
you know what they
thing.
would say? They would say,
Yeah.
"Stalin who?" Like, who's that? They don't know. They don't know, like, they don't even understand what a Marxist is, right? They don't
I think some
understand.
of them do. Some of them
So
actually like Marxism a
you're
lot.
right. Some of them do. I guess from the perspective of, like, the majority are stupid, right? And I hate to
Yeah.
say it like that. John Crump Live, thank you. So John Crump is the one that dropped this FBI leak. He dropped a super chat. Thank you,
Really?
brother. He says there is more. By the way, stay tuned. Man, that's I appreciate that. Let me know. Putang says there's about to be an entire dining room set against that wall.
Right?
Yes, yes. And John's mustache is extremely long. Ego death, man, very good point. This is all a distraction. You know, y yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
a lot of times we feed into the distraction and distractions as well. So, yeah, you're not wrong. Sometimes I kinda feel like I just need because of the desperation and, like, the terrible, scary place that we're in, I feel like sometimes I need this to come on and just talk shit about guns and talk shit about, whatever's going on in the world because otherwise, man, we've talked about it like you can you can hold that black pill in your hand and you can put it in your pocket and keep it close to you, but the moment you take that black pill and you're like there's no hope. There is no hope. Why would I do everything that I do. Why would I prepare the way I prepare? Why would I prepare my family the way I prepare my family? Why would I do what I do for my daughter or for the future is nothing, right? And I don't even all of this, right? Like I don't ever want you guys to think like this is about like me or us because really the reason that we're here is for you guys, right? I am I am nothing and I am no one from nowhere. Okay. The reason all of this is happening is for y'all, right?
Straight up.
But it does feel good for me to go through and kind of not be sitting here chewing on my fingernails, dealing with anxiety, wondering, when the ish is gonna hit the rapid rotational device, you know. But anyway, I agree. It's all distractions. You know.
However, some of those distractions can turn into straight up realities or hints or where things could be headed, and that's why
Yep.
sometimes you don't let those distractions like take over you, but you should pay attention to them. You know what I mean? Like acknowledge
For
what it
sure.
is cuz that distraction may turn into something serious. And I
Absolutely.
I do think they're in overdrive. I do think if Karl Marx gets in this next election, then um, we're gonna have some serious contentions, and I think that
Yeah.
they are openly hate other Americans. Like they let
Yeah.
in illegal immigrants, give them everything, and then at the same time tell you they hate you Americans that love your country. Like
And
literally,
that burning flags are patriotic. That
yeah,
was a literal quote I heard, like, 2 days ago.
yeah, on
The other
CNN.
thing too yeah, the other thing too, I just wanna add, so let's say when those distractions do pop up, and most of them are, like, red herrings and things like that,
Mhm.
um, I think it's important nowadays that when these types of things do pop up, that, you kinda need to look at it through a different lens. So let's say, for an example, something happens, something pops off, something. Let's even say, like maybe an assassination attempt of some sort, right? We don't really know what that in itself could have been a red herring, right? Anytime when the people in charge, the elites, the whatever you want to call them, when they're like, look over here, I'm like, okay, I'm not even looking. I may keep that in my peripheral, but I'm looking everywhere else. Like, why do you want me to look over here? What do you want
Yep.
me to feel? What do you want me to think? And then what actions would you expect me to take based off of those feelings? And then I need to look at that and think why, right? The
But
same thing we
sometimes they're like tells, you know, like
for
they
sure. Yeah.
it could be a distraction, but it's also like a hint of like, we got this coming down the pipe.
Exactly. You can not like I'm not saying you could like Miss Cleo this shit. I'm just saying that like you you could man, the young cats won't even know.
Bro, I miss those commercials so much.
Call me now for your free reading. Who's the
For your
father of the
free
baby?
tarot reading.
Yeah,
Who's
that
the
was great.
Oh
Sorry.
man.
So, like, you may not be able to just, like, literally just, like, guess what's coming down the pipeline, but it could literally start to like point you in a direction of what's going on, what are they doing, and what are they trying to shove in your face, and based on what they're trying to shove in your face, what are they trying to hide? And then when you see evidence of things being hidden, you're like, oh, okay. And then you can start to make better educated decisions based on stuff they're not telling you. And this goes the same thing, like for all the people that are like, I don't watch mainstream media. It's all a bunch of, MSLSD or whatever, but I love Fox News. Bro. Do
No,
you
man.
not
No, man.
know? Yeah.
Newsmax is the real one, dude. It's the
Newsmax,
Newsmax.
Sky News, and dude, even like everyone is compromised.
Yeah.
Everyone, everyone is compromised. The important thing is that when you get information, that you get information, and then you take that information, and if you truly want to look and just not make like just general conjecture and try to, if you're really trying to figure some shit out, then you need to actually do some research on things, look it up. You need to try to look past all the BS that you're going to encounter, and then you need to kind of compare people that have different
Yeah.
perspectives based on the same kind of
Risky used
thing.
to say it well, man. There's a lot of pattern recognition that you need to have
Mhm.
to see patterns and where
Yep,
they're headed. And if
for
you
sure.
really wanted to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, you'd starting to get into stuff like numerology and things like that. And that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you it's like, is this anything? Is it not anything? Why do all these numbers seem to be popping up all the time? But that's even
Yeah.
like way down the rabbit hole, somewhere at the bottom of it.
It is crazy. It is crazy. Okay, let me go back up here a little bit. Okay.
Jonathan, thanks for watching the stream. Jonathan, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal Jr.
You say, "Yo, David Koresh is on." That's funny.
Oh, why?
P38
Who
Wilbur,
said that? Who said it?
Little Patriot. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Karl Marx. My bad. Supreme Edgelord, what's up, bro? Sorry. Turning something there. Is Little Patriot Jonathan, or is Jonathan on Fluffy Bunny's account? Well, either way, P38 Wilbur, brother, thank you so much for the super chat, 223 super chat. He
David
says, say
Koresh
hi
is spot
to
on.
Fluffy Bunny's son, Jonathan, new glowy. Nice. Welcome, Jonathan. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us as well. It's going to be a good one. Hopefully you're of age, you're adultish age, you know.
Yeah, for the stream.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
We need to talk about price tags tonight. That's a thing. Do you want to get into the Fed BS first?
Yes, let's dive into that.
All right, and as I pull this up, I want to throw one other thing out. Okay, so it seems like there may be a little bit of tension in the chat, okay? And, not like big, I'm just feeling a little bit of energy from it, that's all I'm saying. And it may be that some people out there, disagree with me or us, or disagree with me or us in the way that we're spending our time, and the topics that we're discussing, and the things that we're, and if there is anyone out there that does disagree, I would highly recommend that you pop on, call in, and just have a conversation with us. I would love to know what your thoughts are. If you think we're too caught up in like the bread and circuses of all the bullshit, and you think that there is something else that we could do to put our energy towards, something more productive, or I'd be really curious to know that. So I'm going to throw this out there. You could call into the show at 443 537 9232. That is Red Dawn's personal landline number. It is home. I'm just kidding. You could call Four four
Yep.
three 537 9232. That's the number to DLD hardware, but I can plug it into my mixer here and literally bring you on the show and have a conversation with you. And it would have to be like at the right time. So anytime over the next like 30 to 60 minutes, call in and we'll try to work you into the conversation. I think it'd be good.
That would be awesome. I mean, I saw some people were saying Frag Out said X is down. I just clicked on X and it seems to be up.
No, he was talking about his ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
I'm
she's
just kidding.
down.
I'm ju- she's down. Hey, if she's down for real, hit me up. Met Chris from the 740 son at GunCon. A solid kid. Much respect for his son and best wishes. That kid is more a man already than most. Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Muddy Munitions is the man. And Muddy Munitions, man, he also has a channel and he is fighting behind enemy lines in guess where? In the state of
Fornication.
New York.
Ooh, that might
Yep.
be worse.
Yeah, I'm honestly, yes, I think it is. Evening Fluffy, hi Jonathan. That's what's up. Obama Vision. Good to see all you guys. Led on Steel, member for 2 months, my guy. Great to see you. Says, "What up, DLD? DLD News, the only trusted news source." I appreciate that, but please don't trust me. And please don't so I for a while was actually doing like 2A news and stuff like that, and it just
Mhm.
didn't feel like authentic to me, and there's so many other good people doing it like Crump and others. I was just like, "Man, I'm not gonna do that." But when like important things that would potentially impact the gun owner come up, Trump literally has access to jump on my channel and go live. Because if something could potentially come up that could impact the gun owner, so let's say you guys, us, negatively or positively, I want you guys to know as quickly as possible. So keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you, man. Let on steel. Thank you, brother. Let's see. Ego Death says, I understand you and many others may not believe in gun. Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
They might not be talking to us.
No, that's we've both very openly said that we're Christians, and and actually at the end of every show, we encourage everyone to get right with God, and we also give out the invitation that if anyone out there is curious as to what getting right with God looks like, to reach out to us personally if they have any questions or want to have a conversation about it. So no, absolutely, Red Dawn and myself are both. Believers. We were both saved by the grace of
Big
Jesus
time.
Christ. And yeah, we could
And
talk about that.
ego death, I read all the prophecies and study them intricately, and
Mhm.
scripture as well. So yes, fully
Yeah.
believe in Bible prophecy as one of the wonderful evidence that the Bible is true and accurate.
Yeah. And this isn't like and I appreciate that ego death. And this and he may have also I shouldn't have taken that personally. Like he may have just also been talking to someone or people in chat too. So that's fair. But this also, a lot of people say like, man, over the last year all of these things have been happening, and this is in the book of Revelations, and this is in the book of like whatever. They're bringing up things that are pro- prophetic prophetic, right? Or
Yeah.
they're like
Mhm.
prophecies, right? And they they fail to realize, because I think we kind of get this like tunnel vision. They fail to realize that these things have been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's just that it's our perspective and the lens that we're looking through on things. DLD After Dark, he's old enough, man. Nice, that's what's up.
Bro, it
Sorry.
is down.
You disagree? Unsubscribe. Appreciate you. I repeat, X is down. I'm so far behind. Let
Yeah,
me
it
get
just
caught
it
up
says
here.
posts aren't loading right now, so I guess it's showing me like old posts.
Well, praise God. Amen. Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not really active on the Twitter. Um,
Ooh,
yeah, yeah.
Donald Trump news. Do you support me appointing RFK Jr. to become the CIA director?
Ha ha ha. Man, that's a what are your thoughts on that, Red Dawn?
I mean, it's got to be better than what we have now. I mean, their family has been going back and forth with the CIA for a very long time,
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
I could see them totally, you know, Trump and RFK together to me is gold. To tell you the truth, I don't love everything about either one of them, but I do think that they are the direction we need to head in. And then you add in someone who's has a plus rating from the GOA, such as the vice president. What's his name?
Mhm. JD Vance.
Um, JD Vance. And you start moving in this direction of transparency and cleaning up the government and not hating freaking Americans and making lists like this and taking care of our borders, and that's the direction we have to head in. Like, to me, if you can't figure out, how Biden said, if you don't know whether you're voting for me, then you ain't black.
You ain't black, yeah.
Right? To
Mhm.
me, you don't love America if you don't know who you're voting for. You may think you love America, but you don't,
Well,
because to want to change every aspect of freedom and then to call it freedom at the same time. Like the Democrats say, we're for freedom, and it's like freedom to limit people who actually like freedom and give
Yeah.
degenerates as much freedom as they want.
We want to be able to give the government latitude to silence people that we hate. We want to give the government latitude to remove the natural rights of people that we hate. And then we don't think that they'll ever use that same latitude against us to reduce our natural rights because they're protected by the Constitution, which,
Yeah,
by the way, is not absolute. Like that is their thinking. And you know what's crazy? Okay. Like I said, we for the most part, it's hard to not just get pissed off about all this shit, right?
for
But
sure.
for the most part, we let me say it differently because I don't want it to seem like cultish or anything. People generally speaking that think like we do, when you're looking at people of opposing views, we usually don't hate that person. It's almost kind of the same idea of like, hate the sin, not the sinner, right? It's like I don't I believe that people can have their eyes open and that people can change and that people can become better and different and have their eyes open. A lot of times people just haven't been punched in the face or felt helpless enough or run a company or paid taxes or like whatever. They haven't
For
had
real.
a real enough life and real life experiences to understand that it's you. Everything falls back on you, right? Or maybe they haven't just gone through enough challenges or struggles. I don't know, but I think that idea, like what I kind of mentioned, I guess loosely earlier, was we dislike the government and the government encroaching and overstepping onto our natural rights, or at least attempting to constantly. And they have. Let's be real. They have stripped away and chipped away at our natural rights constantly for we're talking hundreds of years, right? And then even though we don't hate or dislike, we don't hate the individuals, we hate the overstepping of the government, but they
For
actually
sure.
hate us, right?
For
They I
sure.
could say the government hates us and wants us dead. Very extreme left-leaning people hate us and want us dead. They literally think that we're scum, right?
Do
So today,
should we have a discussion about what Wild Weasel said and make him a believer that voting is the thing that you still need to do whether you think it's retarded or not?
you know what? Yes, well, Weasel, hang tight for 1 second because this is important because I was there. I was literally the vote harder person and if you truly believe that voting is retarded, then you should be in the streets with your rifle right now. Like you should be bodying people right now.
Yep.
Like what are you doing on the internet? You should be out there. I'm just saying I'm being a little dramatic, but I'm just saying like that once we'll get to that in a quick second. I just wanted to add this one thing, because of the way that, like, I believe we think differently, and this is just my experience. Today, I went to my daughter's school, and when I went to my daughter's school, there were people again handing out school calendars and these, here are the things to do in the beginning, like month or whatever of the
Mhm,
school
mhm.
year, settling into the new school year and all that, and they're passing these calendars out. Very, helpful stuff. And the first time I saw only two people out there, and they were passing out, Trump and very the right leaning options. It's so
Cool.
crazy to say, look, I don't believe any one person is gonna save us, any one president or anything. I'm just saying that, I was glad to see that in my area, which is not known for freedom-loving individuals and people that think more like we do. I am not a conservative Republican in the traditional sense, but, anyway, it was refreshing to see those people, handing out those types of flyers. So that was the other day. I go tonight for another event at the beginning of school because it's just constant events over and over and meet the teacher and welcome back and freaking just all this shit, right? Anyway, so I'm coming up there and there's four people when you walk down the line to get into the school, and all of them are handing stuff out. And have someone say, "Hey, would you like a school calendar and, things to do in, in the new year or whatever?" And I was like, "It depends. What information is on them?" And she was like, "Oh, this is, Trump and so and so and so and so," and it's the, Republican, nominees and, like, who to vote for, right? And, I go up and I take them and I say, "Thank you for what you 2 do," right? And I
Mhm.
take those and then I walk away and it was also cool because there's a little QR code that was, scan this QR code to see what books are in the library. And I was like, "Ooh, dope." Like, that's really cool, right? So then, I'm walking by and I see 2 other people, and they're like, "Would you like a school calendar?" And I said, "Oh, no, thank you. I already got one right back there." And they said, "Would you like a democratic school calendar?" And I said, "Oh, that's okay. Thank you. I already got one." And then I stopped, and then I turned to it was a guy that I was, like, directly talking to, and there was another woman that was a little bit further back. And I was like, "No, thank you, but I just wanted to say that, what you're doing is not easy, and I really appreciate what you do." Now, this is the dude that is handing out, you know, tyrant for president flyers.
Karl Marx for president.
Yeah, literally, like, Lenin for like, this is Mao for president,
Yeah,
right? And this dude is I I think it's important for us to change their minds because, and I say this when I talk at the end of a show and I'm like, "Be
for sure.
kind, live a
Yep.
life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others." We are door holders, right? We hold the doors for people. We are, humble, we are kind, we're respectful, and you could potentially there could be a moment where they're like, "Whoa, I've been lied to." Right? And imagine if you were able to just by
For
being
sure.
kind and respectful, if you were able to show somebody, boom, I've been lied to. What else did they lie to me about? Right? All these people, all these, right wing, crazy MAGA, Republican, like all that's, they're all crazy. They're all bigoted, racist, Nazi, like all the shit that they say, right? The moment that you stop and you humanize them and you're kind and you say, "I disagree with you. I disagree with everything that you stand for. And I know that what you're doing is not easy. And I just want to let you know that I appreciate what you do." This dude about dropped his his pamphlets on the ground. I was going to call him something else. But it was, I don't know. And maybe it's like an ego thing, right? Maybe it
For
made me
sure.
feel good, like, "I'm better than you," right? Maybe I did it in a self-serving manner. I didn't have that intention initially, but it did feel good to kinda do that, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that you're a kind person, man. It's one of the things I love about you. I tend to have a slight temper that I'm working on, and but I can try to channel it into a sarcastic way. Um but I mean, dude, freedom for sure is on the ballot, and we have very limited time to change minds. Like baptized in fire put over here. I believe voting is immoral and also is mostly rigged now, so I abstain. Like, if you abstain from voting and you don't vote, you have no right to complain at that point. If you don't at least take the time to vote, you have no right to complain about what you get at all. At least if you vote, you can say, I think it was stolen. I think that this process maybe shouldn't have been done this way. But you have no opinion to give anymore. You basically give up. You basically are quitting on the process. And that gives them more power. And if you don't at least take the time to vote, whether it's rigged or not rigged, I'll be the first one to tell you, dude, I probably believe things are more worse than most of you guys out there, even if you think it's the worst. I've dived into all this stuff. I dive into it on my channel. I'm
Yeah.
a non-believer in the system,
Mhm.
and but you still have to participate or you have no standing ground to complain about anything.
I don't
And
think there's
I
ever been an election that was
yeah,
untampered with, Ever,
Correct.
ever, ever.
Correct.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to add that in there. And I totally agree. And honestly, okay, straight up, you know what totally shifted my perspective on this? Because I was absolutely the same as you guys are saying right now, baptized in fire, um, ego death, and also wild weasel. I completely agree, and I was literally there. Now, here's what changed. So I was having conversations with people and I was like totally black pilled and I was like, what is the point? What there is no point. The future is only headed in this direction. We are going to be in a kinetic ground war with our countrymen. That's it. Like, how can you just
Mhm.
sit here and drink your chai soy latte and say, like, we're gonna be fine. Just vote, right? And I get it. But then something happened. We're sitting here being attacked by the ATF. They are literally breaking federal law, but can then use prison time, like federal prison time, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines with their opinions to lock you up, right? And then I'm sitting here talking to Crump and Rich and Steven Stambolier and Rob Olson, and they're like, "Just wait, we are fighting them. You're gonna see some wins. Just wait." Now this is different, right? As far as the voting thing, I just want y'all to see that there's alignment here. Now the two-way fighting and voting and there's alignment with what I'm about to say, but the whole like I'm not going to vote because it's rigged. Of course there's never not been an unrigged election, right? What I'm saying is like what if it's not? What if it does count? We I'm just saying it
It
takes
just
so
sounds like a
little
very
effort.
defeatist attitude to not exercise your right to vote and say it's like the kid at the basketball court, right? Where he don't get picked up, but his ball is the one that's everyone's playing with, right?
Mhm.
He came to the court and brought the ball, but he didn't get picked on the 10 guys that are playing on the court. So he's like, "Give me my ball, I'm going home. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm going home. I don't want to be around." And that
Yeah.
kind of stuff is like, okay,
I
bye.
do think if we're
Like,
if we're at that, but no, and I agree, and I do think if we're at that point where it's like, okay, no more voting, then there's only one more box left, right? But what I saw that changed everything was we got to win in
yeah, we
court
did. Yeah, we
in
did.
a broken system that is literally against us, where everything, money is against us, power is against us, time is against us, the process itself is against us, everything is against us, and we got to win. And I was like, oh my goodness, like we have new Supreme Court judges that are in our favor, we have lawsuits, the
Dude,
Supreme
if you
Court.
I don't care how you feel about Donald Trump, his Supreme Court has held this nation together for 4 years.
For
We've had
sure.
more victories in the Second Amendment than we've ever had in history
Hmm.
and or recent history. And that
But that
matters. Like
showed me
it
that
makes a
that
difference.
absolutely, and that showed me that, and obviously, like Traveler just said, let me go back here real quick. Um, Voting is very important for your local and statewide races, absolutely,
Absolutely.
100%. But
Absolutely.
what that showed me is that even in a broken system that is rigged and used as a tool and a weapon against you,
Yep.
strategically when we do things and we come together we can still win, right? Even though everything is set to fall against us, right? But when I started seeing in a broken system that is rigged against us, when I saw some wins, I was like, whoa, you changed my mind. Why fight in court when we can fight on the streets? That was the way I was thinking, right? And then all of a
Mhm.
sudden it was like, bing, we won. Bing, this win. Bing, this win.
For
Bing, oh,
sure.
you can carry switchblades now. Oh, we can carry, in all these states without a permit now. Oh, we can carry, oh, braces are defeated. Frames and receivers are likely, knock on wood, going to be defeated, which would have a huge positive
FRTs.
impact on my business. FRTs are defeated. So there's just these constant things. And I'm like, whoa, even in a broken system, we're getting some positive, things are
Yeah.
happening. So maybe it's not
it
totally
it
lost.
it goes into having some level of faith, man. God can move in anyone's heart. That's why he says pray for your enemies, because he could turn someone around for your benefit when you don't even know when or how it's even possible. But also, dude, if you're willing to go the route of bloodshed, you need to take every avenue you can
Yeah.
to hopefully not end up in that situation. Because once that
Yeah.
road and door opens, dude, there's no going back. So America is a great thing. The concept of what we had at the beginning of this country is a phenomenal thing for the world,
Mhm. It's
and
beautiful.
it's beautiful. And you should take every avenue of approach to prevent the 100% collapse because, dude, a civil war is not just going to be a civil war. There's going to be foreign actors. There's going to be contractors from other countries. There's going to be other countries that take advantage of that. Like, you will never see that country that you want to be rebuilt in your lifetime
There's
when we
gonna
go
be
down that path.
subverters and saboteurs. There's gonna
Yeah.
be I mean, it would be an
And
absolute nightmare.
it
But
would. And I'm not scared of it, or like, it is what it is if it happens for sure.
I
It's
just
on
would
the table,
feel
but
I would feel really bad and stupid if I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna participate in this shit because it's rigged and it's phony and it's fake and it's, it's a broken system." And
yeah.
I mean, we all believe that, but I think that,
Well, this is the other thing. Is it if voting didn't matter, why would they go to such freaking lengths to propagandize and
yeah,
brainwash people if they could
that's
just do what they want?
it could be just to make us think it's real. That's one thing that I thought of, right? But then again, you're right. Why would they do what they did? I mean, look, they probably I don't want to go down that route, but yes, totally agree, right? While Weasel says, "I'm not black pilled. I made my preps. I made peace with my God. My revolution is raising a badass daughter who knows how to live right." So, Wild Weasel, I love that and I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, wow, Weasel.
And I also want to say that right there is one of the reasons why I still vote and will continue to vote until the end. And here's why.
Yep.
So, there will come a day that I will need to look my daughter in the face and say, "Daddy did every single possible thing that he could to prevent the direction that we're heading in right now, to prevent you having to walk over corpses in the street, to prevent you having to dodge bullets and explosions, to prevent almost all of your friends likely dying, to prevent the comforts that we had growing up of air conditioning and playing and riding bikes and all those things, to take all the I mean things like water, food, shelter, security, to take those things from you. I wanna be able to look my daughter in the eyes and say, "Daddy did absolutely every single thing that I could before, you know, grabbing equipment,"
Mm-hmm.
you know?
100%, man. I mean, dude, if voting was like you had to write a 1,000 word essay and you couldn't have any misspellings, and that's how you submit, bro, you show up to the place, you give them your ID, you bubble in a few things, you walk out.
Yeah.
It's not that serious, and your protest doesn't matter as much as voting does matter. That's one of the things people like. You may
Yeah.
feel like you're doing something protesting, you're actually doing nothing, and you're giving power over to the government to make decisions for you and people that are actually participating. You have to. That's the way I mean, it's also American. If you're American, you participate. You have as much faith in the system as you possibly can. You may know that there's things that go on, but like you were just talking about, Dark, for the
Mhm.
next generations, for your children, you want to feel like you tried everything first before we
Mhm.
got down that path. And
Yeah.
I guess I'm right now. I just think that this election is probably the most important election. There probably is going to be shicey stuff that goes on, and we do need every person possible to show up to the ballot box to vote, because that is one way that we can at least attempt to make a push for not having Karl Marx as our president.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Mao or Stalin or and, the interesting thing here is, and I'm sorry because we still haven't even pulled up the document. Isn't it funny how this works out? Um Hold on, I saw something I wanted to hit on, and I'm already forgetting. Voting does matter, but who counts the votes matters more. That's absolutely very good point.
For sure.
Most of these public schools are raising kids against their parents using brainwashing techniques. 100%, absolutely. Um, I'm honest with my son, and honest with me. No reason to lie. Listen and learn. When we stop saying the Pledge of Allegiances in school, bro, you ain't lying. And stopped using the Bible in court, we were fucked, bro. Absolutely. There is no real certification with receipts for sure. 100%. Like I said, I don't know. Well, just based on the human condition, excuse me, just based on the human condition, um, I don't believe there has ever once been a free and clear election. It's nearly impossible, right? It's
For
just
sure.
people are always going to find a way to, you know, weasel their way through, or they'll find a way. Well, there's something else I was going to say before we moved on to the next one. I can't say. What were you just saying before that? You mentioned Karl Marx. I mentioned Mao. There's something. Man, I'm drawing a blank on what I was going to say.
Just I think we were basically just reiterating that trying everything before giving every chance you can to doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Voting is a simple task that you show up for 15 minutes. You go to the freaking library or a local church or whoever is hosting
School, wherever. Yeah.
wherever. You show up, you bubble in a few things, and that alone, it may seem silly, but it's like, dude, if you overwhelm the ballot box, and there is last time we had 81 million votes supposedly for Joe Biden, right? And you had
Hmm.
74 million, which no president, right? They screwed that last election. Don't get me wrong, they did. But if they screw it again and everybody shows up, if there's 100 million people that show up and vote for Donald Trump, it's going to be harder for them to screw. We want to
Yeah.
make everything as hard as possible on them. We
Yeah.
want to make
Yep.
them stressed out. They stress us out by putting out these freaking documents, talking shit about us, talking shit about every person. They're propagandizing every news station, making
Yep.
Kamala, who's half drunk all the time, making her look like she is Michael Jackson's grandmother. And
Dude, and I'll tell you, like,
you want to push back, and the ways to push back for sure is voting. Unless you
yeah,
want to grab your shit and get out there tomorrow,
yeah,
you might as well vote. There's no reason besides some emotional look. I say this all the time. Everyone on the left has emotional arguments that make no sense.
mhm,
We have to use logic and reason and try, not just
yeah,
have emotional tantrums about boo-hoo, they steal stuff. Just try, and then if you try everything and then that door opens to the great event, then you walk through it and you perform. that's just
yeah,
that's just how it is.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's crazy. And now heading to this potential election, if we do have an election, I think that over the next like 68 or 69 days, however many it is, 69, nice. I think that we're heading into a time where we're going to have a series of massive amounts of mass tragic events. I think we're going to have another attempt on Trump's life. I think we're going to potentially have some encounters with other, you know, relatively powerful countries that could cause some issues. And the thing that I had been thinking of is what could they do, and what environment could they create such that in the event that we were leading up to the election time, every single person in the general public would say, "Well, of course we didn't have an election. X was going on during that time. Of course we didn't have an election. We were on the brink of world war. Of course we didn't have an election. There were, all these trucks filled with
I
ammonium
see
nitrate from
see I
3,000 tons that was taken from the train that no one ever said anything about or found after it was stolen from, you
Yeah.
remember that ammonium nitrate that was stolen?
Yep, yep,
Like the
yep.
3,000
I don't
tons?
think they can stop the election, but they can make it so that it's mail-in ballot only or some bullshit like that, and that
Yeah,
makes it much
something.
easier to steal.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever it is. What yeah. Mhm.
'Cause I don't care if they nuke this bitch, I will show up to vote. If their
Yeah,
voting box is open, I will show up in a fucking gas mask and say, "You bitches are fired. I'm gonna put
yeah.
my shit down." And then I'll get in my car and hand the gas mask to someone else, say, "Go in, make sure you go in and vote." Because if they don't go in, if this don't go our way, dude, we all know this is not like Kamala gets in. What all right.
We're too
It,
close, like, with where we are now, I
yeah,
totally agree with what you're saying. We are so far gone with
yeah.
we were already in a bad place as far as, like, societally, the climate, the divisive nature of the country, of programming, of mainstream media, of even now alt media, like, all that stuff going on. We were already in such a bad situation. Take that bad situation and then add the coof, and then add the division that the coof caused and all that, and you get a terrible situation. Then take all those terrible situations and then add massive amounts of financial turmoil to the point where people can't afford anything. Add, the reduction of goods coming into the country. Obviously, we've already reduced our ability as a country to manufacture and produce things. So then we're just doing without. And then, I mean, we're the last 4 years has basically like burned the crust of a you know shit pizza that like it was just we were already in such a terrible place. So like how could we ever end up in a worse situation if we get another 4 years of this or worse?
Yeah. And all right. Do you think that I think the American people are over it, bro. I really think the American people are over it. I know that they step all over us and we do nothing a lot. But I think this election is the line in the sand for majority of Americans. If they blatantly steal this thing, there's going to be people who don't even own a gun who are going to consider doing something. And
Dude, we were
January 6th would look like a walk in the park, which it was a walk in the park,
oh bro, it was literally a,
a
a
joke.
picnic. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, this is the culmination of all the pressure and stress and BS that the people have put up with, that the government wants to push over the edge and take more power. Like it's all coming to a head at this election. You have two polar opposite opinions on this thing. And this ain't 2016 where we were coming off Barack Obama, right? We're
Mhm.
coming off all that stuff that you just named, and people are freaking over it. And I
Yeah.
think that there's a huge likelihood of, even if Trump wins, like Ratskin talked about, if Trump wins, they'll show up January and say, "You're disqualified. We're not letting you in. Kamala's walking in there." What do
Yeah.
you think that, bro? Do you really think people are not going to do something if that happens? Do you think that they're
Oh,
going to look
dude,
us in the face and do that? And
it
people are
it
going to
would
sit at
be
home and go, "Yeah, this is why I don't vote." And that's all that's going to happen?
yeah, no, it would be an absolute nightmare. And the people that have been preparing will be at least able to survive. And yes, nuclear fallout, like usually after the first 48 to 72 hours, the majority
Right.
of something crazy like 60 to 80% goes away and is absorbed into the world in the first like 48 to 72 hours, which is crazy. But
For sure.
and I don't even think like that is necessarily gonna be the thing, like, they're like Martians. They still wanna
Mhm.
be able to use the world for its resources, right? They still wanna be able to
Maybe.
use the people for its resources. Could they burn it all down and rebuild it later? Yeah, but, I mean, if they
So what
really
what do you think about the Georgia Guidestones where it says they want to bring the population down to 500 million people?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
They
mean,
want us dead and gone, bro. All of us.
I
They
I
really
know I know they want so there's a couple layers to this. I know that they want people that truly believe in freedom, independence, and liberty gone.
Gone,
They want people that are self-sufficient, gone. They
gone,
want people that are independent of the system, gone. They want
gone.
people that are armed and potential
So,
combatants,
but what
gone.
happens if all of them are gone? Do you
So
still need the Chinese slave class over there in the factories? Do you anymore?
that's the second piece of it, right? So that's the one piece of it is the, what do you call them? Like the rebels, right?
Mhm,
So let's eliminate the rebels. Let's say all of the rebels are eliminated. Let's say that there's something in our DNA that all of
mhm.
us have that believe in freedom, independence, and liberty and, you know, all that stuff, right?
Common sense gene.
Yeah, right. Let's say like, all of it. Yeah, let's call it the common sense gene.
Common
Uh,
sense gene.
let's say that they come up with this nuke, right? That
Mhm.
is, you know, a nuke with poisonous gas that, you know, whatever, that only kills smart people. No, people that believe in freedom, liberty, and independence, okay?
Yeah,
And then it
a
takes
genetically
boom.
modified.
Yeah, a genetic bomb that, you know, I probably shouldn't use the B word, but whatever. That does that. It takes out people that think like we do. Okay. So boom, gone. We don't even get a chance, right? It's everywhere. It's the air turns into that stuff. Okay. So now let's say all those people are gone, all the outcasts, the rebels, whatever you want to call them. So now they're stuck with, you know, what? I don't even know. Millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of
Yeah.
people.
I
At
mean,
least 81,000,000.
what would kill just as many is shutting down the supply chain, cutting off their power grid, stopping them
Yeah.
from being able to access any goods, having
Mhm.
created a dependent society who depends on that supply chain for existence. And the
But
thing is there's a reason they also poison all of our food, poison our freaking water,
of course,
inject us with things that change your chemical makeup in your mind and inhibit children from growing up to become mature adults.
with
There's
things that have likely killed more people than the original virus did.
dude,
But
they're killing
then they
more
kill the
people
other
than that
ones.
every day with stuff that people we can't even talk about. They're
Oh,
killing more
dude,
people daily with stuff that we're not allowed to talk about, and it's never
HFCN.
mentioned.
HFCN, bro. High fructose corn syrup or HFCS.
Yeah.
High fructose corn syrup.
Making you dependent on pills and injections for the rest of your
Mhm.
life,
Yep.
causing you to be weak and fragile.
Yep.
And,
Or fat
yeah, I mean,
and have tasty
RFK,
fingers.
if you see his speech that the 2 speeches he gave when he endorsed Donald Trump, and then
Mhm.
the first speech he gave when Trump brought him on and at his last rally,
Yeah.
dude, he went hard on that stuff. He went
Yeah.
hard. He said
Yeah.
he literally looked the crowd in the face and said, "Aren't you tired of them making your children sick and making us sick and poisoning us? Aren't y'all sick of that?" But I mean, you know what? Let's just
See,
not go there.
honestly, dude, you know what? I'm concerned about RFK because
Yeah,
RFK's daughter-in-law is employed by the CIA, and
yeah. Well, half
there's
his family told him, "You suck, and we're voting for Biden," and they're employed by the Biden administration, half his family.
I
But
know.
bro, how
It's
many
so
family
hard.
well,
I
your
know.
family's different, but a lot of families, bro, they don't like each other. A lot of
I know.
families have polar opposite
Dude,
opinions and views, and
trust, I have people with very different opinions and views, right?
mhm,
You know, the one thing that keeps us that it still gives us that closeness, the fact that
Christ.
bingo. That's it.
Yeah,
Because we can still look at somebody and say, "I disagree with you, and I still love you."
yeah,
If we could just maintain that, right? When we were kids and we were told there are 3 things you don't talk about. You don't talk about politics, religion, and finances. You shut your mouth about those 3 things. If you talk about those 3 things in public, you're gonna be disciplined, right? Now literally all we talk about are politics, religion, and finances. That's it. Because you know, thank you, internet, and
yep.
you know, it's totally changed the way that we interact with each other. It
The
is
one
this
thing about
divisive,
certain family is if they're toxic and inhibiting your well-being of your life, you just have to cut people off. That's maturity
for sure.
at its finest, is you cannot have people in your life that harm your life. You really can't. And
Yeah,
Lightning Scott, yes, 9E, and was an inside job. It
Yes,
was. It
absolutely.
was, man. And there's a reason I think unless everything is fake and Donald Trump faked his ear and
Dude,
Trump
have you
actually
seen
loves them and they're all best friends, which I honestly can't see Donald Trump hanging out with Nancy Pelosi and Kamala
bro,
Harris in his off time.
how
I can't see that.
let's just how would you fake that? How would you fake that?
I
I
mean,
mean,
I think
I
there's a
guess
chance that it could be that, but
well,
and
there's
I think
always a
that
chance.
they may not even like each other. They may all come together and just say, "Look, we're the rulers and they're not, so let's figure out how we're going
Yeah.
to screw them."
I mean, it honestly could have been a squib behind his ear, and then right? And then
Oh yeah,
I get it. It could okay. So I'm thinking there's a shooter, right? And then the shooter shoots, and then the shooter shooting made that, but it doesn't have to be that, right?
yeah. Or
But
it could just be sounds. It could be just you shooting to the
yeah,
crowd, and I do this, and
exactly. Yeah.
we'll post a photo that has a
If
stupid
you
little line in it.
tear a ketchup packet and then ow, no, I'm kidding.
Bro, it's when you have access to Hollywood level,
Of course,
you can make
I'm
anything
joking.
look real.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'm just saying that if everything is a show, sure, I agree. I
yeah.
still think you should vote though. It doesn't take any time really out of your life
I
to
know.
go
What's
vote.
the
And
downside? Well, I don't wanna
I don't
participate in the system. I know, I don't want to either. And if we have seen some wins in the broken system, what if we're able and I know, I get it, okay? Let me just say this. I do not believe that one man is going to get us out of this mess. I do not believe that one president is going to get us out of this mess. I do not believe that one party is going to get us out of this mess. I do not believe that one presidential term is going to get us out of this mess. I don't think the next 5 presidential terms are going to get us out of this mess because of the inherent the problem, right? The heart of the problem is the problem of the heart. We are evil people. We are greedy. We are
for
lustful.
sure.
We are worldly creatures that seek power and money, and we're disgusting creatures. But what if there's a chance that it like the downside is not it's our ego that gets in the
Might
way.
as well try. Shit, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I think the real downfall is this, and I was gonna
Dude,
ask you this question.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend that you vote. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. So I think Vivek Ramaswamy said it good, and I don't care how you feel about Vivek. I don't really think highly of anyone that's on TV. I'm not that guy. I don't think anyone is 100% trustworthy that I see on TV. But I will say that our real problem is that people don't love America anymore.
Mm,
They don't want to participate in the system. If it, put it this way, if you're an anarchist, do you really love America? If you're an anarchist and that's your belief, do you really love what our founding fathers set up as a country? And if you don't, then you don't. Then maybe you lean a little bit left. But in my opinion, you have to love what they set up because what they set up created the greatest country in history for freedom, independence, for pulling people out of poverty, for
mhm,
creating a system that helps people live right, lives good. And
mhm,
if you don't love that, if you don't want to participate in that, that's your
mhm.
choice. I respect your choice. This is America. You're free to choose and think however you want.
For sure, we're
However,
just
I think
talking
that
about it.
is, yeah, we're just talking about, but I do think that is the root cause of the things in our country is people don't love this country like older generations did. And older generations were brainwashed. They're the ones that led us to the point we are, but
Absolutely.
they loved this country, and I think we need patriotism, we need Christianity, we need a belief in God. Even if you're not a Christian, we need people who love America for America to exist. You're not going to have anything if you don't love the thing
Yeah.
for it to exist. You're just not.
I'll 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 end this part of the segment on this, but don't go anywhere because we're sticking around. Choosing to not vote because you don't want to participate in a broken and I'm not picking on just a few people that are in here that mention that because I respect y'all's viewpoint on that. I like I said was there just a few years back, right? Like I'm It literally took me seeing changes and me having things proven to me and seeing it with my own eyes, okay? But it choosing to not engage with the broken system because it's already broken, why fix it, right? That's a really emo thing to do.
It
Don't
is.
be
That's what I said.
emo. Don't be emo,
Don't
right?
be emo, bro.
Like, oh god, I don't wanna vote. Could you imagine voting in this patriarchy and this, like, broken system of, like, like, please don't be
Yeah,
emo.
if you're siding with those people, dude, you need to question your decisions, that's all,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
maybe think that there's another stance out there you could take
And
that might
and
not agree with them.
oh, you know what? There may even be a biblical element to voting. I need to look into that. I know that the Bible does say, "Pray for kings and queens, pray for our leaders." You know what? I'm gonna look actually, okay, so I have my brother out there who's likely watching. If you're watching out there, brother, I love you. Um, he is a remarkably intelligent individual, and, he
Johnny.
wish my lawn was emo so it would cut itself. Bro, that was my favorite old joke, dude. That
I've never
I
heard that.
You never heard that before? Dude, I used
No.
to say that joke all the time. Till I met some emo people and saw that they actually do cut themselves. I think that that may have been him. So my brother is a very, very intelligent um silence gives consent. That was it's cut off. I can't see all of it. Um Tons of wins, not just 2A, make questions, doctrine and EPA decisions, Chevron deference, being struck down. Absolutely. So this is how liberty dies with hundreds of applause.
Thunderous applause. Star
Thunder.
Wars quote.
Yeah. Um Silence. I can't see what the top of it says. Oh, your silence gives consent. Plato.
100%. Your silence
Damn.
gives consent. That's one of the oldest quotes there is.
Is there a biblical aspect of voting though? And I'm not trying to pull like the Catholic mom guilt or the Jewish mom guilt into like well, that's what a good Christian boy will do, right? But I'm curious because I know the Bible definitely does say
Well,
pray for your kings and queens and pray for your leaders and those in power. But is there, to my brother out there, can you tell me, because I know he knows the Bible much better than I, is there a biblical aspect to voting? That's my question. Sorry, go ahead.
I
I
honestly
almost just called you Red Rider. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Red Dawn.
that's cool. I like Red Rider.
Yeah.
Um, all right. I don't think there's a biblical aspect to voting, but I do think you live in America and you respect their laws, which the Bible talks about, and you follow the law of the land. And I don't think that God would have designed it exactly that way.
It's a good thing.
I do think that God in the book of Obadiah talks about it's either democracy or Congress. He talks about how only the land of Edom, which are the Edomites, use that
Mhm.
form of government. And he God does not like Edom in the Bible. He doesn't like Esau, who is the father of Edom. And I mean, biblically, would God want you to vote? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But like I said, if you don't vote, your silence is for sure permission. You have no uh stake in the fight if you don't vote. Like, how are you gonna show up and be like, they stole the election that I didn't vote in? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
okay,
I expect it to be stolen, or to be attempted to be stolen,
for sure.
by both sides every time. Wild Weasel says, "Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. You're supposed to not give a fuck who's in power. Just live your life well and worship him. Way more important." Yeah, it was
Mhm.
just something that popped in my mind because, obviously thinking back to what the Bible says about praying for our kings and queens and those that are in power and leaders, it was just something I was thinking. I'm not trying to say, yeah, it's just something that I thought of. God has my vote. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Um, okay. So now that we've had this, which what I think is an excellent conversation
For
for the
sure.
last hour and 54 minutes, do you want to go over the document?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, cool. What kind of gun you carrying now, by the way?
P365X macro and a 300 blackout suppressed.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, now with that new ruling, do you think one day in the next couple of years we're going to be able to just pump out machine guns?
You may be able to help me with this one. Did Tennessee pass something that says you can have short barrel rifles and short barrel shotguns within the state? And
What? Not that I know of. Where
hmm,
unless, yeah, and not that I know of. I could be wrong. I a lot of times miss certain things. Far
I
above
thought
any
I saw
ruler
it
or
somewhere.
authority or power. Hold on one second. Far above any ruler or authority or power or leader or anything else, not only in this world, but also in the world to come. Even Pilates, probably Plato, wrote in his own words, "You don't F with that dude. He not human." I have like 400 gallons of water. Nice, man. Good for you. Not counting bottles. That's good. Uh, Romans 13:7. I don't have a way to pull that up right now because all my devices are being used. Palestine is once mentioned in Joel chapter 3, verse 4. And while we pray for all, I would not fight for Palestine. I'm for sure. Yeah. Don't worry, the kids. Sorry, I'm just going through making sure I don't miss anything. Pray for your leaders. Yes. Give to Caesar what is. Oh, pray for your leaders. Yes. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Yes. But I think there's evidence in the Bible that God cares more for our hearts and souls and minds than government and politics. Oh, for sure. For sure. Israel did not originally have a king, and Jesus blatantly rejected the idea of political saviors in favor of pursuing hearts and souls to build the Father's heavenly kingdom. Yeah. Yeah, I was just curious. I didn't know. It just popped in my mind, and I figured I would ask. So now we can transition to something a little bit, well, worse. um, man, how would you break this? I was gonna just give a little like quick, breakdown of basically this was it's white papers come up often where basically we read that all these three-letter agencies are using our money that we pay them. Let me say that again: our money that we pay them. You know that 30 to 50% that you pay in taxes. They're using that money to hunt you. Just so you know. Um, and every now and then these papers get published. Sometimes they get leaked. And this is the FBI, which is a criminal organization. This is their domestic terrorism reference guide to MVEs, or militia violent extremism, or in when you're talking about people, an MVE would be a militia violent extremist. Now, I guess if you're an individual that believes in freedom, liberty, and independence and limited government, and if you are armed and you're a military age male and you train, you automatically just fall within this role. If you do things like, you know, um, if you're self sufficient in any way, if you want less government and more freedom, then you're evil in the eyes of the criminal organization known as the FBI. Anything you want to say before we dive into this?
Um, no, man, let's dive into it. It's uh it's just mind blowing. Like the first sentence, like militia violent extremists are anti government, anti authority violent extremists who seek to use or threaten force or violence to further their ideology in response to perceived abuses of power by the government, perceived bureaucratic incompetence, or perceived government overreach, especially in regard to suspected infringements on gun and land rights. It's like,
Mm, on
what if
those,
you perceive them to be accurate?
yeah,
That's the
on
question these people aren't asking. Like, we've never overstepped our boundaries. We've
gosh, you guys are really taking these silly birthrights a little too seriously. Okay.
Yeah. Your private property, you really think it's like private?
Yeah. Go ahead and don't pay your property tax for a year and tell me what happens.
Mhm.
On gun and land rights and excessive use of force by law enforcement, they fear the government is unwilling or unable to protect the United States from perceived threats from undocumented
Undocumented
immigrants,
immigrants,
drug traffickers,
Muslims. They
Muslims.
just throw Muslims in there like
Like
Muslims.
what? It's not even at a convenient place. Like that.
No.
Like, that's like saying, like, Toyota Corollas, Honda Accords, refrigerators. Like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And certain social, political activists and believe their actions are justified, given their self-appointed role as protectors of the US Constitution. Oh! A responsibility they perceive as consistent with a well armed citizenry sanctioned by the Second Amendment. They hold a deep belief in conspiracy theories. What we call those
CIA
are,
term.
yeah, we call them spoiler alerts. Regarding the suspension of civil liberties, the uh, internment of Americans, foreign invasion and occupation, and the end of constitutional government. You
Such
wanna
as
read the rest
martial
of that?
law, and we've seen internment of Americans in our past. So,
Maybe even like
what
January
reality
6th,
are we reading about?
maybe
Like,
even our friend Matt Hoover, Sierra's Firearms, who didn't do anything wrong, who's in
you're
federal
right.
prison right now.
And
Maybe,
just had a court case that said that machine guns are banning them is unconstitutional, and yet he
yeah,
didn't even
yeah,
have one.
but that was also in a different district. That's one of the issue. Well, there's a lot of broken stuff here, but,
Mhm.
you wanna pick up here with the UFOO?
Some MVEs call themselves three percenters based on their belief that only 3% of American colonists took up arms against the British government during the Revolutionary War. Some three percenters regard the present day US government as analogs to the British monarchy during the 18th century in terms of its infringements on civil liberties. The term generally represents the perception that a small force with just cause can overthrow a tyrannical government if armed and prepared.
I just got a
Call
text that
someone crazy.
I know, dude, honestly, I'm kinda liking what they're
Me
saying.
too. I'm like,
You
wow,
know,
you're
I'm
if someone reads this, they should be like,
like,
maybe
where
I
do I
should.
sign up? Like, is there a test I have to take first before, gaining entry to this club? Some MVEs, I hate that. Man, the acronym thing just
Yeah.
has to go. Some MVEs use the term boogaloo, which references a violent uprising or impending civil war. The term has particularly resonated with MVEs who have adopted it to reference an impending politically motivated civil war or uprising against the government following perceived incursions on constitutional rights, including the Second Amendment, or other perceived government overreach. Nothing to see here. It's just perceived
If
government
if
overreach.
you take out the word perceived and all the times they used it in just
Yeah.
this little bit we've read, there's no way anyone would disagree with this. There's no way
Of
anyone would
course.
say if the government overreaches, like literally it's in our founding documents. Like
Yeah. I just got a text that was like, are they just describing the founding fathers? Like
that's
that's it. That's what this is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to be. This is what we're called to be as men, as leaders in our family, as leaders in our community. Our job is to protect our country through protecting our family, our house, our property, our community, our school. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah.
branches out. And when
I'm
all of us
surprised there's
take
no
on that
document.
accountability,
There's no document about pedophiles or rapists or
you can't say PDF files. You can't say that. It's not, they're not PDF files. They are maps. They're minor
no,
attracted
I'm not
persons.
saying that. I'm not saying the maps word. I'm not.
No,
I'm
no.
not using it. I'm sorry that I have uh outdated vernacular.
Bro, I have offspring. So you're not going to hear me saying anything but wood chipper.
Yeah, wood chippers.
Targets. Traditionally, MVEs have targeted government and law enforcement personnel and facilities. When?
When? Word for
Yeah,
word, bro. You did not plan
dude, yeah, we have not read this together. We have not talked, but we just happen to say that at the exact same time. Please tell me when. You know when they're typing like stuff like this up, and then they put like examples in parentheses next to stuff.
Yeah.
There's no example.
No.
So okay.
Black
Tra-
Lives Matter?
yeah, burning down cities for a summer traditionally infers what? Something that has happened consistently and it
Yes,
has become the norm
the
for a group
norm
of people, right?
for sure.
Traditionally, militia violent extremists have targeted government and law enforcement personnel and facilities.
When?
I don't know when that's happened. I mean, I'm
No.
sure that people have done some crazy
I think
things,
the
right?
FBI has actually done that quite a few times.
Yes, yes, many times, and they reference that too. They're like, if these people try to hold us accountable for the people we killed in all these places, that's an immediate, they're MVEs, you know?
MVE.
And I love how they're like, remember, somebody just being one of these things doesn't necessarily mean they're an MVE, but
Yeah.
mixed in combination with these things, it's great. Um, which they regard as threatening the rights of American citizens. Militia violent extremists have also targeted entities that they perceive as posing national security and social threats to the United States, such as undocumented immigrants.
And suspected drug traffickers. Oh no, don't look at suspected drug traffickers as anything bad here. You guys
Yeah,
are bad
we need to make
for
sure we
thinking that they're
protect.
a threat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to protect suspected drug traffickers here, okay? Along with the southwest border, Muslims, Islamic centers, and mosques, and suspected looters and
Oh yeah.
individuals whose ideologies they oppose, including perceived anti-fascists. Bro,
I think they meant to put fascists.
no, because they're talking about Antifa.
Antifa, yeah.
It,
Who are
it
actually fascists.
who literally are like this is insane. This is this is bothersome.
But they're only perceived Antifas. That's what
That's
their new
true.
name should be. Perceived Antifas.
Perceived Antifas. Yeah, yeah. Extremist members of armed militias that patrol the US Mexico border, purportedly to assist authorities, have threatened violence against and detained migrants, and their operations increase the possibility of violent encounters with law enforcement. Some militia violent extremists have plotted attacks on critical infrastructure in order to provoke a civil war between citizens and the government.
Yo, real quick, that's the most important sentence and breadcrumb they've dropped in this,
Yeah,
because they can totally do that and blame it on MVEs.
of
And
course.
next thing you know, they have anyone who has. See, this is what I was saying. This could, people say this could
It's
be
the
a red
boogeyman.
herring or a distraction, right?
Mhm.
But on the other hand, that right there could get everyone that has a freaking thing that says SHTF or whatever on a certain confiscation list that you could end up in a perceived internment camp. It's not a
But don't
real one.
worry, it's
It's just
only a
perceived.
perceived
Yeah.
internment camp. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's only a perceived cattle car. Don't worry about that. Anti-fuzz. Murphy's Law, thank you. The TM31210 is an excellent training manual. I highly encourage you guys to become familiar with it as well.
Nice.
You want to pick up reading there?
Yes. Let me make it big again. Tactics: some MVEs form or become members of groups in order to advance violent plots against their targets or to prepare for emergency contingencies that they believe would require a militia.
Oh
Some
my
of these groups focus, it's hard to read it, so I have to use the voice in order to get through it.
God.
Some of these groups focus recruitment efforts on current slash former law enforcement.
Ooh.
So wait, they actually hate the law enforcement and want to attack them, but they recruit
But they're
law
recruiting law
enforcement.
enforcement. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Total
Some of
sense.
them recruit Muslims, you know?
And military personnel for their weapon skills, training, and potential access to restricted databases.
Oh,
And
get the fuck out of here.
yeah, they're highly trained, you know. They're the
Yeah,
highest
their
trained.
their access to restricted databases. Like, what? What access to what? You realize it's 2024, and for $1, I can get any information that I want or need? Like that? Like, what access to restricted databases? What you know what? I want the ATF to give access of their, optical character recognition, uh,
Wait till you see the
illegal.
next sentence.
Oh, bro, sorry. Go ahead. I need to just shut up and let you read.
MVEs often subject prospective members to background checks and interviews. They're horrible, y'all. They check people's backgrounds
Can you
before.
believe that?
That's like, I cannot even believe that they are like not wanting to take um PETA maps
Yeah,
in.
freedom maps. I'll pick up here for a little bit.
Go ahead.
MVEs in various geographic locations use the internet, oh no, and encrypted applications to plot criminal activity, transmit ideology, solicit donations, recruit members, plan meetings or training events, and display training videos. MVEs conduct paramilitary training, often called field training exercises. Bro,
So
if people are
it,
calling them FTEs, they are feds or former military.
now you
We
guys know why I'm demonetized, because they just described my channel.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, hold on. You put on equipment and guns and train?
I know. You're
MVE.
not even allowed to play GI Joe. You're not allowed. You are going on a list if you play GI Joe at all.
Yep. This is absurd. Okay.
Which involves the
I
use of
love
firearms and explosives.
I love
MVEs can.
how some even display training videos. Um, MVEs conduct paramilitary training, often called field training exercises, which involve the use of firearms and sometimes explosives, which they probably mean tannerite, and often incorporates U.S. military tactics such as combat techniques, hand signals,
Hand signals.
security detail operations, and survival skills. We would not want people knowing survival skills. MVEs often use legally purchased firearms in their illegal activities. Okay, what aside from them alleging that these people are plotting criminal activities, okay, what have they said that's illegal so far?
Um,
Aside from attacking critical infrastructure in the United
I was gonna
States.
say, are targeted government and law enforcement person like when we were like, when have they
Yeah,
done this?
yeah, never seen it, never seen it. Sorry, MVEs often use legally purchased firearms in their illegal activities, which I haven't seen much here yet. In some cases, they seek to purchase firearms from gun shows and associates rather than the traditional dealers in order to avoid documentation of their purchases. Some MVEs acquire illegal guns or firearms and components for which they are not licensed, including automatic weapons and suppressors, or circumvent firearms regulation and background checks by assembling firearms from components, or by modifying otherwise legal guns, such as converting semi automatic firearms to fully automatic.
At least they know the difference between the two, right?
That's what they
Sometimes they
say.
don't.
They say they
Sometimes they
do. Yeah, I mean, it's still them, right? MVEs sometimes seek to have long walks on the beach. I'm just kidding. Seek to acquire or produce explosives to use in violent plots or stockpile for later use. What? MVEs generally attempt to manufacture improvised explosive devices using commercially available materials, though some also attempt to obtain military grade or industrial explosives. Okay, okay. So hang on for a second.
I knew that would be your favorite part.
Do I believe this is like hurting my head? Do I believe that there are people out there that are so pissed off that they're just like, let's just do illegal shit and let's just do I think they probably have some groups like infiltrated and like probably about to be on lockdown? Yes, I'm sure that's happening. I'm sure people are out there training and camping somewhere right now, and they're doing stuff that they disagree with. But listen to what they said. MVEs sometimes seek to acquire or produce explosives to use in violent plots or stockpile for later use. Here's the big one. MVEs generally, okay, they're saying that these are things
Generally.
that are generally done by MVEs. MVEs generally attempt to manufacture IEDs. What? MVEs generally attempt to manufacture improvised explosive devices using commercially available
Muslims.
materials, using commercially available Muslims, though some also attempt to obtain military grade or industrial explosives. Bro, this is insane.
It's insane. Unclassified for official use only.
Generally speaking, how many people have you met that were trying to procure massive amounts of explosives for unlawful activities?
None.
Yeah, I haven't met anyone trying to do that. I mean, Tannerite, sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Well, you're welcome to pick up if you want.
Indicators. Indicators of militia violent extremist ideology may compromise constitutionally protected conduct. And no single indicator should be the sole basis for determination of a militia violent extremist or criminal activity. The following indicators of militia violent extremist ideology may constitute a basis for reporting of law enforcement action. Whoa, 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 whoa. The following indicators of militia violent extremist ideology may constitute a basis for reporting or law
For law
enforcement
enforcement
action
action. Yep.
when
When
observed
observed
in
in
combination with
with
suspicious
suspicious
criminal or potentially violent activity.
potentially violent
Potentially.
activity. Okay, so I want you guys to remember something. I want you guys to remember back to that ATF agent that couldn't take the Glock apart. Okay. Do you guys remember that time?
Yep.
Right? Let me pull this down for 1 second. I want you guys to remember, and I'm sorry, I'm running on like 3.5 hours of sleep, so I'm kind of fading. But we'll get through this and then we'll peace out. I want you guys to remember, excuse me, back to when that ATF Fat D representative um, wasn't able to take the Glock apart. Now, looking back at it, I think he just couldn't take the Glock apart because there was a Glock switch on the back, and you can't take the Glock. Well, whatever. Anyway, he's a tard. So remember what they did there. They had a whole table of firearms, okay, and they had illegal machine guns, illegal machine gun conversion devices, and s- firearms with serial numbers defaced. And then the whole rest of the table were guns that were 100% completely lawful. 3D printed guns, lawful in 90% of the country. Polymer 80s, lawful in almost all of the country, excluding some states out there, right? And a Barrett 50 BMG and a civilian legal M249 semi-auto belt-fed saw, right? What they wanted to do was say, here's this whole table of evil. Really, the only stuff that's illegal is this little pile over here. But look at all this stuff. This way, if you see any of your neighbors saying, oh, yeah, I 3D print guns. Oh, yeah, I build 80% firearms. Oh, yeah, I have a semi auto saw, which is just a 24-pound AR 15. Like, they want to do this on purpose so you can say, oh, yeah, I have a 50 BMG, and then your neighbors are like, oh, I need to turn them in for potentially violent activities. Because if you see me going to and from my car every other day or every few days, and I'm wearing my gun belt or whatever, and I'm carrying ammo cans and going to the range, somebody may say that is a potentially violent activity.
Yeah. They want to be able to knock on your door and ruin your life.
Yep.
Drew, you do need a 50 BMG, brother.
Yes, we all do. Sorry, go
We all
ahead.
do. Hold on, let me make it big again. Potentially violent activity. All right. MVEs often reference the Second Amendment, allegations of tyranny, and historic grievances, such as federal law enforcement's handling of the raids in Ruby Ridge, Idaho in 1992 and Waco, Texas in 1993. Some
Yeah,
MVEs, well, yeah, like how would you not like how is there not even an investigation into those? And that's not because of what they are even. Like, do you guys think you handled all that correctly?
yeah. Can we get like some accountability here of murdering people?
No, no accountability for them, over accountability for us, like
Yep.
magnified glass on
Yep.
you. Some MVEs highlight the deaths of other like minded individuals involved in encounters with the government and law enforcement, including U.S. persons Lavoy Finicum, Duncan Lemp, and others.
Yep.
I don't even know who those guys are. I think I've heard
Dun-
Lavoy Finicum before, but I don't know who Duncan Lemp is.
Duncan Limp was killed in his bed for um, illegal possession of a firearm, which shouldn't even be a thing.
Is Duncan Lemp the guy from Arkansas?
I don't remember where he was from. I can't recall right offhand.
Rhetor-
Rhetoric.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'll pick up for the. We'll just trade off. Rhetoric, imagery, and attire referencing the threepers or the 3%ers are possible indicators of MVE activity, although not all MVEs ascribe to the concept. Some MVEs have used the terminology and imagery associated with the Boogaloo concept network in person and online based on shared grievances with the government and law enforcement. Rhetoric, imagery, and attire referencing the Boogaloo are possible indicators of MVE activity, although not all MVEs ascribe to the concept. The term is also used to a lesser extent by other actors, including racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, which, get ready, It's a new acronym, are MVEs, who advocate superiority of the white. Why only white? Could there not possibly be somebody else of another persuasion that believes
Their
in all
race
this
is
stuff
superior,
and believe their race is superior? Yeah, like, really?
but that's okay as long as you're not white.
Oh, yeah, if you're a white
You
military
can
age
be
male,
like any other color supremacist, but the
yeah, yeah,
white ones are the only bad ones.
of course.
Yeah.
Some are MVEs. Remember, that's racist militia. Was it racially or ethnically motivated
They
violence?
forgot the E in
I
there.
guess so.
It should be
Have you?
RE.
Yeah. Have used the term to reference an impending race war or other conflict that will lead to the collapse of the quote system to include the US government and society, and allude to it using shorthand such as big igloo or big luau, and imaginary and imagery such as igloos or Hawaiian shirts, or such as Gadsden snakes spun in the shape of an igloo. I made that part up. Some MVEs may form paramilitary style organizations and use paramilitary style tactical equipment in accordance with their interpretation of the Second Amendment and the social nature of the movement. Wow.
Their interpretation of the Second Amendment, because it's this one sentence that needs interpretation.
Yeah, it's only there. It's not
Yeah.
the FBI's or other people's or,
No,
the
it's the
majority of the country.
constitutional priests who run society and need to interpret the
Exactly.
scripture for us because we are just laymen who can't read a sentence and
Exactly. Yeah.
understand it.
Being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's it.
I wonder how they want us to interpret that.
You know what? It sounds like all of our arms should be infringed.
Yeah, they should just like limit them totally.
Yeah. Well, it's at least the dangerous ones, right? And
Yeah.
then the dangerous people shouldn't have dangerous ones, right? You can pick up here.
This document should be called like well-regulated militant violent
Yeah,
extremism.
for real. Yeah.
All right. In April or June 2019, FBI and law enforcement partners arrested two MVEs who led militias that detained undocumented migrants
Get the fuck
along
out. Get the
a
no.
portion of the US Mexico
Hold on.
border.
I thought
No, they were on the border patrolling the border.
Okay. I thought they were saying the group included undocumented I was like, "Bro,
No.
you just said that they
They were
hated them."
assisting border patrol and they actually caught two migrants crossing the border and they detained them. Oh my god.
You know,
The FBI needs to
if
step in.
if my land was being destroyed by people that were, raping young women and turning my apple orchards into rape trees and, literally destroying
No, they want
all
you
of
to
my
give them like a
crops.
lay and like, welcome to Hawaii. You get like
Welcome, welcome to Texas.
here's some
Welcome
money
to
out of my
Arizona.
pocket.
Yeah. Here's some food out of my children's mouths.
You want to just take my bed for the night?
Yeah. We could sleep head to foot. What a joke. I'm sorry. I freaked out there for a second. I was like, hold up. I thought y'all said we hated, Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So they were assisting border patrol and they detained two undocumented migrants that were crossing the border and the
These
FBI
damn
arrested them for
volunteers.
doing that. So
Yep.
what how would they even have permission to assist the border patrol if they don't have permission to detain anyone?
They either
Anyway,
were volunteers or they were rogue, which I
yep.
don't blame them. If it happened to be that like their properties were being destroyed, and I'm telling you, people are
Well,
we're
they
talking.
don't want free help because that means they can't take taxes away from you to pay them.
That's true. It's a good point. I didn't think about that.
One MVE pled guilty to a felony charge of possession of a firearm, and the other MVE was
Ooh,
convicted of false impersonation of a border patrol agent. Hold on.
ooh.
The charge of possession of a firearm. What guilty of a felony is possession of a firearm?
Only if you are a felon, even though I don't agree with that or think it is right and or real. Unfortunately, some people believe that if you have a felony, that you shouldn't be allowed to bear arms, that your natural rights that God gave to you no longer belong to you.
Yeah. You must be a sheep for the rest of your life. We got you, bitch.
Hmm. So hold on, let me just real quick. One MVE pleaded guilt, pleaded, whatever, pleaded pants guilty to a felony charge of possession of a firearm, and the other MVE, I hate that, was convicted of false impersonation of a border patrol agent. I would need to learn more about this, so we'll
For
have to
sure.
keep going on that. Go ahead. The FBI
In
arrest.
August 2017, the FBI arrested an MVE on federal charges of plotting a VBID attack on a bank in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. The MVE initially wanted to blow up the Federal Reserve building in Washington, D.C., with a device similar to that used in the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing because he was upset with the U.S. government. The MVE was convicted for attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction and sentenced to 25 years in prison.
First off, I call bullshit. Where would somebody find that much ammonium nitrate?
On a lost train?
Runaway train never coming back. Sorry, go ahead.
In October 20, bro, we're talking about 2017. Like,
So
this
there's
is all
been
years ago.
3 arrests. So there's been 3 MVE encounters in the history of forever. So this
Yeah.
is what they're telling you is the same thing that YouTube told you when they're like, so a year ago they said, "Hey, when things happen and there are big violent events that have a massive political impact on society, you are not allowed to report on it until Google says what the ground facts are." So
Yeah.
what did Google tell me? That mass tragic events were going to happen that would, impact the society on a political level, right? And bingo, they were right, right? They told us those things were going to happen. So what the FBI is telling us, that in the future things are going to happen because people that think similarly to us are going to be targeted. I mean, this has already happened, at least on these separate occasions, but they're going to be targeted because they think that people should be free and have less government encroachment. But I digress.
All right. So, to the third encounter that has happened in a decade, October 16, 2016. The FBI and law enforcement partners arrested 3 MBEs who were planning to conduct IEEs on an apartment complex in Garden City, Kansas, where Muslim immigrants from Somalia loved and worshiped. The 3 MBEs were convicted of federal charges and received
I,
sentences to
I'm gonna
25 years.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna guess they meant to say lived and worshipped, because that just doesn't make fucking sense. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I was like, on the apartment complex in Garden City, Kansas, where Muslim immigrants from Somalia loved and worshipped. It has to be lived.
Yeah, it's got to be. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I'm not surprised there's a typo.
Fucking tards.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been at war with Somalia or anything, so I'm sure they were just loving and worshiping in the apartment complex.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's no reason that religion would drive anyone to engage in a war, you know? It's not like religion has ever been the, topic of any war ever. Always.
Dude, that was almost a decade ago. and it's on this list in 2024, and they have these 3 guys who it's like 3 it should just say 3 fucking morons that might also work for the FBI.
Yeah, for real. I was wondering if they were gonna put 6 homeless people, which 4.5 were employed by the FBI, tried to kidnap Governor Whitmer, and then it's like
I was waiting
crossed
for
out
it.
and said redacted. You know? Oh man. Okay, sorry. So the
Wow.
3 MVEs were convicted on federal charges and received sentences of 25 to 30 years imprisonment. Key terms: Second Amendment. Reefers refers to the Second Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. A well regulated militia. Am I going to get in trouble if I say this again? A well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. MVEs and others within the militia movement often reference and interpret the Second Amendment.
To justify
E
private
E
militia
E N T.
activities.
What? But what's the?
There's, like, a cursor. I think there's, like, a cursor
Oh,
stuck in
is that my?
screenshot.
Oh, wow. Sorry. The
Was
Second
that your
Amendment.
cursor?
Yeah, it was my cursor. Yep. I told you I was tired. Sorry. To justify private militia activities and their opposition to gun laws. Agenda 21. Hold on. A non-binding United Nations agreement that advocated for international environmental responsibility. MVEs sometimes regard Agenda 21 as a globalist conspiracy to seize rural lands prior to a UN takeover
So, maybe that's coming.
and the implementation of the New World Order. So sorry guys, I just want to say that what the FBI says is that Agenda 21 is a globalist conspiracy to seize rural lands prior to a UN takeover. Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure
Boogaloo.
that's what it said that it is.
I mean, that's what I got from it. Boogaloo.
Boogaloo. You want me to go?
Go ahead.
A term some MVEs use to describe the notion of and sometimes a desire for a second American Civil War between citizens and the government. Big Igloo or Big Lahua or Boog Boys or Bujahideen. I haven't heard that one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Boojahideen.
Bujahideen.
That's good. Thank you, FBI. That
Yes.
if that's the only thing we get from this, other than we're all being targeted for enjoying freedom.
Oh, I'm titling my next video Bujahideen.
Boojahideen. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And other associated wordplay, in addition to imagery such as igloos, Hawaiian shirts, and leis, are used as coded references to the larger boogaloo phenomenon on and offline because some people use the term jokingly, and RMVEs who advocate the supremacy of the white race sometimes use the term to refer to a race war. The context of the use of the term should be considered carefully.
Race war.
Pretty much
That's just
Pretty
like
much
the
what I get though from this whole document is like maybe and possibly and
yeah.
it could be.
Dude, I just thought of the most incredible thing. What we need to do is we need to recreate this document and
Yeah.
do it all based off of like extreme leftist extremists like mental
Oh,
disorder,
bro.
and do it all like we believe that the purple hair symbolizes just like
Yes.
ridiculous shit.
Rebellion against God and the natural order that he
Yeah.
installed your genetic coding in.
We believe that the removal of the
Incor-
penis is giving praise to Mole. Okay, sorry.
Worshipping the culture of anime.
Oh, that's good. Dude, that would be fire. I think we would, like, imagine, like, Babylon Bee with all the great memes that
Yes,
they do. Imagine if they could do, like, a whole
a
one of
counter
these.
one.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would probably be more accurate than this one is.
We need an we need an MCE warnings of militant Chad extremists who believe in a perceived civil war effort called Bruh Galoo.
Brooklyn.
Bruh. That's great.
Bug out, man. Bug out. Oh my god. Like some of these words that are on this list, you're like, really? A
False.
phrase, yeah, a phrase used by MVEs and non-extremist preppers to reference emergency contingency planning, usually invoking weapons, supplies, evacuation procedures, and rendezvous locations.
Oh gosh. Not rendezvous locations.
No, bro. Don't have a backup plan if your house burns down. Just become
No.
a refugee.
Yes, become the ash. We to dust you shall return. False flag, a conspiracy theory alleging the government carries out plots. You do, often violent actions, it's all documented, like terrorist attacks, also true, or mass shootings, confirmed, in order to manipulate the public, facts, through fear into placing blame for the violent action on an innocent third party. Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah.
that like the description of what the CIA does in other countries all
I
the
mean,
time?
we could literally go search for like actual dude, you know what? We should take this and literally find like the exact same thing that the FBI does, but like proof and documentation of them doing
Yeah,
crazy shit
yeah,
like this, and then paste it like for reference, you
for
know?
sure, for sure. You mean like JFK?
Yeah, sure. Martin Luther King, you
Martin
know?
Luther King, yeah,
Yeah,
Malcolm
they
X.
shot Martin Luther King in the face with a 30-06. And then they were like, "Are you all right, bro?" Some MVEs believe the government uses such covert actions to promote its unconstitutional agenda, including sweeping military and law enforcement action or encroachments on gun rights and other civil liberties.
I'm surprised they didn't put perceived encroachments on
Yeah,
gun
right.
rights.
But only perceived.
No, you know
You
what?
know.
They love our Constitution and want us to be as free as possible,
Of
and
course,
I don't even know why this type of group exists because the government loves our Constitution and wants our freedoms to be
bro.
accessible.
They're doing such a great job. Why would any of these groups need to exist? You know?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh man. All right. FEMA camps, Federal Emergency Management Agency. FEMA camps. Some
Mhm.
MVEs believe under the guise of humanitarian projects that, that FEMA intends to gather Americans in concentration camps in conjunction with the suspension of civil liberties and the establishment of the New World Order, aka martial law,
Yeah, what's up with the coffins? That's really all I wanna know.
and the guillotines
Yeah, they're not
and Katrina.
coffins. Yeah, right? What's up with taking 5 days to get water to the Thunderdome? How long can you go without water?
3 days.
Oh, okay. Alright, I was
Get
just
it
curious.
get it there in 5.
Federal emergency, okay, federal emergency management agency. They are the agency that manages emergency responses federally. When thousands of people lost everything, their homes, fresh water, food, all their personal and private possessions, they took 5 days to get water there. 5 days. You guys are doing great.
Some MVEs believe that FEMA is pretending to be a humanitarian project when in fact they want to capitalize, like Hillary Clinton said, let no tragedy go to waste.
Mhm.
They want to intend to gather Americans into concentration camps, such as the Thunderdome, and suspend their civil liberties, like not let you bring your guns in or have free speech in there, or
Or have
probably
all your
wear a
guns
uniform
taken.
or have them taken from you in the middle of that event.
Mhm.
And then they want to establish something different than what the America Constitution is all about, and something called a new world order. It
And then
sounds
put
like
you
that
in those
exists
plastic coffins. Yeah, I
to
mean,
me.
dude, they wanna kick our bodies over to roll into those Rubbermaid coffins. I just I feel it deeply in my soul. FBI, I just want to let all of you know that are watching and listening, because I'm sure they have, like, keyword things up, like, if
Oh,
you're
I'm
reading
sure.
this, that they can, be pulled, like, right into your stream. Plus, they watch my stream anyway. I just wanna let all of you know that I am an MVE, and I wear that badge with honor.
I'm the first to. I'm not an extremist. I feel like I'm a logical person. I'm a militant, violent, logical human being
Of
that,
of course.
like Jordan Peterson says, should be capable of violence. And one of the quotes that we've talked about
Yeah.
is, if you're a weak, fragile, helpless creature, then
You're not
you're
peaceful, you're harmless.
exactly. You're not
Yeah.
peaceful. You
To
know,
to be
I'm a
able to be called peaceful, you must be capable of great harm. If you are
right.
not or great violence. If you are not capable of committing great violence, then you're not peaceful, you are harmless, and that distinction is important. My brother sent that to me as well, by the way.
Yes. And
Field training exercises.
yeah.
Go ahead, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, I think Jordan Peterson also, he laid that out
Yeah.
pretty explanatorily.
Yep, having the skill and ability to commit violence, but having the discipline to exercise not doing those things is the true, like, one of the true fundamentals of being a man.
Correct.
FTXs or FTEs, field training exercises, a term used to describe tactical training. MVEs often use the phrase to describe drills in which participants train with weapons and practice tactics. These often occur on private property or in government owned parks and forests.
You mean where you're allowed to shoot guns?
What?
These often occur in places where gun shooting is allowed.
Yeah, these these things often happen where air is circulated. You fucking
these
idiots.
these things often occur in a permissible environment that is legally allowed to have these things take place.
Yeah, like, that's the kinda stuff that we need to, like, what a joke.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to read all of them or just go, because I'm pretty sure most of us know this, but the descriptions are pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I'll do this. Killdozer, a meme used to reference a June 4th, 2004 incident in which an individual used a bulldozer he had armored to demolish multiple buildings in the town in Granby, Colorado, in response to his grievances with local government. The individual killed himself at the end of the rampage. I would not break down Killdozer into that small, sad that I mean, it was so much
Yeah,
more than that, but martial
definitely.
law exists when military authorities uh, carry on government or exercise various degrees of control over civilians or civilian authorities in domestic territories. MVEs have justified some violent plots and made threats based on a belief the implementation of martial law was imminent. Molan Labe.
I have to say, the martial law one, that first sentence is like throw up coming out of someone's
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
exists when military authorities carry on government or exercise various degrees of control
Yep.
over civilians or civilians authorities in domestic territory. I love how they call it domestic territory instead of like
Your
uh
house.
yeah. Like,
In your living room.
martial law has happened.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because they're like the implementation of martial law was imminent. It doesn't matter if it's imminent or not, if it's taking place at the damn time that it's
It
happening.
yeah, if it's a possibility, bro, like this is crazy.
Mhm.
Molan Labe, New World Order, Oath Breaker. That's funny. Hold on, I gotta read this.
This
A
one's good.
phrase some MVEs use to describe law enforcement and government officials whom they believe have violated their oaths to uphold the Constitution, often related to gun rights and civil liberties. So, if someone takes an oath to swear to uphold and defend the Constitution, literally till their death, and they don't, what would you call that person?
The FBI would call them the right
Uh,
kind of candidate they're
what
looking
would
for. Yeah.
you call what would you call that person? I would call
Every
it
t
a person who broke their
an
oath.
oath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I say I solemnly swear to never have sex with other women while I'm married, and then I'm like, my other hand is behind my back, like, then
Yep.
I'm
Oath
like,
breaker.
yeah, I'm breaking that oath, right?
Shame.
If I were to
Shame.
go do those things. Um,
What
Patriot movement. What? A general term sometimes used to describe the loose affiliation between the militia movement, some members of the sovereign citizen movement, what? And tax
tax
protesters.
protesters.
Participation in the movement is not itself sufficient basis of investigation. So hold on. So using these other terms is sufficient evidence for investigation?
But not participation in the patriot movement is not sufficient. But if you call someone an oath breaker, it is.
Okay.
Every time it says some MVEs, I think that it should say possibly, maybe there's a chance that
Yeah.
MVEs use.
If they can do this, then they can literally put out another white paper next week or next month or next year that says, any white male that is military age that purchases a firearm. That's it. That's the new military violent extremist.
Dude, if Kamala gets in, bro, and we all just sit it out and go, whatever happens, I don't believe in voting, and she gets in, this is going to go to the level 30.
Mm.
And I don't care how you feel about Trump. I'm not sure
Uh,
that this kind of stuff was taking place when Donald Trump was in office. I don't remember that. And I'm sure there was stuff behind the scenes because these people still existed, but they
sure.
weren't so brazen about rubbing your nose in it when Donald Trump was the president. And we didn't have the wokeism problem in the military. And we didn't have
As
a
much.
lot of issues, yeah, going on. And I'm not saying he's perfect, but I'm saying that all the negative things about the other side is
I'll
minimalized
take him.
greatly.
I'll take
I'll
you
take
give
him.
me the choice. I'll take him all day. There is never there is not another person that I could see stepping in that on the opposing side that I would ever say I would choose them over Trump. Period. Oh, this is all hurting my head. Patriot political prisoner, a term some MVEs use to describe subjects who they believe have been unjustly prosecuted and incarcerated for engaging in MVE activities. Are y'all talking about Matt Hoover? Maybe. Eh, whatever.
Or January 6th political prisoners.
Yep. Let's see. So
So clearly, by saying patriotic political prisoner, they're automatically admitting they hate Donald Trump in that, right? Like
of
anyone, they
course,
might
yeah,
as well have just wrote Trump supporters
yeah.
and MVEs work hand in hand and want resistance to us jailing them over minor infractions that we have uh set them up for, like things like that.
Do you not understand that, you're gonna be out in the woods, training to smoke oath breakers and, building a killdozer? You're gonna be too busy to even think about this stuff because it comes so natural to you, you know? Okay, prepping, this is insane.
All right, let me read that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
A term used to describe the stockpiling of supplies, often including food, water, medical equipment, and weapons,
Oh,
in
no.
preparation for a major man made or natural crisis. My God, that's horrible. Who would do such a thing?
Absolutely.
While this can include illegal explosives and illegally modified firearms, prepping is generally legal and is not in itself an indicator of militia violence. Literally, I posted a picture. I forget. I think I posted in our group chat, but like Fox News literally tells you, like, get your preparations in order if the storm's coming. Get preps
Dude,
together.
that's insanity.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Reaction force, red flag laws, or extreme risk protective orders, ERPO, allow courts to issue orders temporarily confiscating firearms from individuals deemed to be a risk to themselves or others, typically at the petition of law enforcement or family members. But sometimes other individuals, such as educators or health professionals, MVEs often regard such measures as unconstitutional, which they are, and indicate they will respond violently if they or their companions are red flagged.
Dude,
I know,
I
man.
think I think I have to give up the rest for tonight because
Yep.
I'm totally burned out. I did not sleep much last night, and this is all really frustrating. I mean, it's funny, right? But it's also frustrating. You know,
For sure.
you got to find the humor in it because otherwise, it's just like,
Vivi Luminous. So the government is literally the biggest extremist according to their own checklist. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
they
but
are.
they're allowed to because they fall in the law enforcement and government uh, you know, category
And
or
if you point that out,
whatever.
you are an extremist.
You absolutely 100%. Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that all of you fit some of, if not most of these descriptions, which is totally absurd. Like we want to avoid the craziness. We want to try to find a way to come together and actually through things like, I don't know, God, bring people together to have true unity, not like Joe Biden unity, uh, true unity, so we can stop allowing this divisive bullshit to be. I mean, literally, we're like animals, and they're throwing this divisive shit in for us to fight over it and get mad at each other. We're like a bunch of dogs with our own, like, a bunch of like different food bowls sitting out, you know? Anyway, I gotta crash. I'm dragging
For
ass
sure,
over here.
bro. I could see it in your eyes, man. You're getting.
Dude,
I'm
you
tired, but
you know me. I
you look real
usually
sleepy.
don't yeah, I usually don't like hit a wall like this. I've totally hit a wall. That's like Flying Rich usually does that. He'll be like
Mhm,
totally fine 1 second and then just he's like, I gotta go. Bye.
mhm,
That's kind of how I'm feeling. But remind everyone again who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and we'll wrap it up. Wrap it
for
up,
sure.
B.
It's your boy Red Dawn. Go follow me at Red Dawn Readiness and keep in touch, man. Follow my channel. Go to my community tab and vote on the new name of the backup channel. Dark is going to teach me how to get around some things. And other than that,
Obfuscate the Googles.
what was that awesome word that we had? Booga
Bujahadin.
Bujahadeen. Yes. Yes.
Really, it should be Boog Hadin, but it doesn't sound right, or
Yeah.
maybe Boogja Hadin. Boogja
Boog
Hadin.
Jahadeen. That's right.
Yeah, I think that's probably most appropriate.
Good to see you,
Uh,
Yankee Watchdog.
yeah, man, all you guys, I really appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out, man. I know tonight I was kind of dragging ass a little bit, but I think it was really important to have some of the conversations that we had. And guys, remember when we're looking at preparation and preparedness and all of these things, it is so important to make sure that you have a way and a place to trap women against their will for reproductive purposes. So just make sure you guys are preparing for the right things. I'm sorry. I'm totally
That's
joking.
the delirium talking, y'all.
Yeah, right. No, I'm totally joking, guys. Make sure you focus on what's right and what's righteous. Okay. Your jobs are you are here to be warriors of God. Okay. So when things like this happen, we do have to stand up for what's right and what's righteous. And never, never ever fear. If you bear the name of Jesus Christ, then death no longer has a hold over you at all. And there's nothing else that anyone can do to you. You know where you're going, and it's a very powerful thing. So, a very, very, very sleepy dark is telling you to take the time right now while we have it and get right with your family and get right with God. And if you guys do have any questions about, what does that mean? What does that look like? Getting right with God, what does that mean? You are more than welcome to hit me up or to hit up Red Dawn and have conversations offline about that. Um,
Absolutely.
you will never feel more free and more gracious and just gifted, and it's an incredible feeling. So I encourage all of you guys to accept the gift and accept the grace, and let us know if you have any questions. Anyway, not I don't mean anyway like that. You know what I mean. Moving along. Um,
Have faith, hold fast to that which is true.
mm, and be
And vote, y'all.
luminous.
Do it for your boy Red Dawn. You don't believe in voting? Do it this one time. I
Yeah.
beg of you, go out and vote. Vote for Donald Trump. It won't affect your life either way. And if you hate Donald Trump, that's fine. Nobody really likes his ass anyway. We just want to get some shit done. So go vote for him. And
We will
that's
let you
my
come
advice.
on, and if anything happens that is less than satisfactory, other than
Gooby.
us not winning, we will let you come on and literally roast us. Totally
Yes,
roast both of us on here. No, no, no tricks, no nothing.
for
Um,
sure.
Guys, remember, we got to make sure we support the companies that support us, support Goon Beam, support Gideon Optics, support Tack Knives, Definition Knives. We got a whole bunch of dope knives coming out. I cannot wait to get them out. About September the 15th, they're going to be out. DLD hardware, I'm actually putting up some new stuff. I have now a DLD yard sale, garage sale tab, and I also have a night vision tab now on my website too. There's going to be a bunch of night vision stuff.
Sick.
Bro, there's going to be night vision IR beacons. A bag of 10 of them
Oh, I
is
need to scoop
$30.
those, bro. I'm scooping
Bro,
them.
it's incredible. You literally go into a room where cleared a room or something, pull the tab like a grenade.
Yep.
I mean, like anything else, and then you just drop it. It is waterproof for 24 hours, and the afterglow runs for 72 hours, bro.
Very
72
cool.
hours. And like one IR Kim light is like 15 to 30 bucks depending on the size and which one you get. A bag of 10 is $30. So check these out. They're awesome. And they're only going to get better as we continue to manufacture them. I'll have them up on the website within the next 24 hours or so. Uh, Amongst other things, we're going to be doing some Patriot packs of jigs. So it's basically going to be like, you know, almost a little less than half off. But, I'm trying to do things to because the last of the bridge frames were sold and stuff, I'm trying to do things that are going to encourage people to build, jigs and all that. So,
Hell
guys,
yeah.
remember, like I said, right now, get right with your family, get right with God. Now is the time. And as we close, remember, we like our responsibility is to stand up for what's right, stand up for what's righteous, be warriors of God, hold ourselves to higher standards and expectations. And so one of the things I like to do with you guys at the end of each show is to share some of those rules with you guys. And then you can select your own rules, standards, and expectations to hold yourself accountable to. Rule number one is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So just be kind. Rule number two is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others, bless others, because when you bless others, you become blessed. A hand that's open to give is open to receive. Rule number three, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you are becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Red Dawn, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so sorry that I was literally falling asleep, guys.
I'm getting there myself, bro. The
Yeah.
the nicotine pouches keep me up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I should switch to the pouches.
Oh yeah. You'll enjoy it.
Guys, just remember through all this, the most important thing to keep in mind.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Sorry, I think that was the wrong video. Whoopsies. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I love all of y'all. Be safe. Be dangerous. Keep your strap on you, even when you're at the crib, even when you're in the house.
Make Frag Out Design. I got my sleeves for you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Tim Harper.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen my live with Tim Harper on my channel, definitely go watch that. It will take your comms level to the next level.
Dude, I honestly, I was going to make a ham sandwich and watch the ham radio show, but I didn't yet, but I will. Frag Out, we need to talk about finding a way to get that Glock somehow. I need that Glock, and I do not want to lose that last one that you're holding for me. So let's chat later. Look, all jokes aside, I know we fucked around a lot tonight. I love y'all, and it's important to me and Red Dawn and all of us in the community that you guys help us enhance the kingdom of God. Okay. Our life, our worldly life in the flesh is just this blip on the radar of eternity. So make sure that you guys are focused on eternity and not this little very, very, very short time, this blip on the radar that we spend here in this sack of bones and flesh. And if you have questions, reach out to us. I love y'all, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.